Sydney. Sydney. Sydney love it.
104.9 Triple M brings you every Sydney Swans game. The highs, the lows. The battle continues as they attempt to claim another flag.
The left foot bangs it through for the Swannies.
Triple M rocks Sydney. Triple M rocks the Swans. Now, let's go to them live from McDonald's. Triple M rocks football.
You bet your bottom dollar. Good afternoon and welcome to Saturday Twilight Football. SCG style, two undefeated sides. The Swans, GWS go head-to-head. They lock horns this afternoon and we do it. Well, they've set it up beautifully, haven't they? Sydney on the back of a stirring victory last week. 45 points, they got the job done. GWS, on the other hand, they were pretty good too. They turned a 26-point deficit in the first quarter. They rammed it home by the best part of 9 goals. It sets it all up. Brad Seymour with you this afternoon. And joining us for the first time, Triple M style, thanks to McDonald's, is Dan Lonigan sitting beside me to ride this one a beauty. Hello, Dan.
Brad, great to be here. Really looking forward to it. GWS and Sydney, as you say, two undefeated sides. The Giants are definitely coming. The Swans, well, they're going nowhere. They were absolutely magnificent last week against Port Adelaide. Back to the Sydney of what Sydney can do every single week. I think I wrote in one of my columns during the week, Sydney did what Sydney did. They just played that strangulation football. If they do it today, it'll be pretty tough for the Giants. But they're an improving side, so looking forward to it, as this is probably a battle of the bridge that has more meaning than most.
He's been with us 5 minutes, listeners, and he's already pumping his own tyres up about his column. He is unbelievable. Grab a new lamb and feta or a chicken Caesar wrap from McDonald's today. And don't forget, Triple M, thanks to McDonald's, Triple M rocks football. For Coates Hire, this is the footy preview. Coates Hire, call 13 15 52 or drop into a branch today. And sitting beside Dan Lonigan and yours truly, Brad Seymour, is a man that tore it apart for 325 games, ladies and gentlemen. He was a true warrior that wore a very, very bad helmet in the 2012 Grand Final. I speak of Jude Bolton. Welcome, mate.
Brad, Dan, how are you, boys? Really looking forward to this game. As you mentioned, Dan, this is a rivalry that is starting to build, especially the fact that Mumford left the Swans and has gone across the GWS. I was down there for this corresponding game in the NAB Cup, and it was a kick decided right at the end of the game. Craig Bird kicked the winner there just to put the Swans in front. The GWS are defending a hell of a lot better than they were last year, and they're putting enormous pressure on teams. Last week, they came out of the blocks. They just did not bring the effort. But then when they wanted to flick the switch, they turned it on.
And to round out your team, your commentary team this afternoon at the SCG, Twilight Style, thanks to Bob Jane, Team Arts, our man who loves the sun. He's really disappointed because it's overcast conditions here at the SCG, and he's got to put his T-shirt back on. I speak of Liam Flanagan. Welcome, Flano.
Yeah, good afternoon, gentlemen. You mentioned the overcast conditions here, Brad. It looks like it's going to stick around like that for the rest of the day. There is a chance of rain, though, so hopefully that stays away and we get some nice, dry football. The benches to start for both the sides. For the Swans, Dan Hanbury, Harry Cunningham, Jake Lloyd on the bench, and their sub today is Dean Towers. And for the Giants, Dylan Shield, Josh Kelly, Andrew Phillips, and the sub is Nathan Wilson.
Flano, just one before you go. Nick Smith was a late out of the Sydney side.
Yes, laid out Nick Smith there. Injury to the glute around the hip area, so he's been more a precaution than anything else. But Ben McGlynn, great to see him back in the Swans colours. He comes into the side today.
Really good to see Benny McGlynn back. He's a real barometer for the Swans in terms of that pressure, and he's just a little cannonball, so really looking forward to seeing him play. He got the opportunity because Nick Smith had to pull out.
They've got a few guys that most teams would love to have in their team. Tom Mitchell, Adam Goods as well, but I suppose Goodsy, if he's in the form he's been in, and the fact he hasn't played a lot of football, he'd probably, Jude, be magnanimous and play in the reserves for most other teams as he has today, where he was pretty workmanlike, wasn't he?
Yeah, Goodsy ended up having 20-plus possessions and kicked 3 goals against the GWS reserves. That game was, of course, played outside the SCG on Lakeside. Unbelievably selfless by Goodsy to, basically give up his spot in the side to say, I want to play reserves and actually get some fitness and some touch. He was out of form in that round 1 clash and obviously only played the 13 or 14 minutes against Port Adelaide. So really good to see him get some touch out there.
All right, players walking to their positioners, listeners, and for Vero Business Insurance around the grounds, a quick update if you've missed any of the action. Collingwood by 74 points last night, and Essendon were victors earlier today over Carlton by 21 points. Jude, you've got 30 seconds. Sum it up for me.
Yeah, just really looking forward to the battle already. I can see Tippett in the ruck against Mumford. It means Pikes push forward. Just the midfield battle is going to be sensational. You've got Callum Ward starting on Josh Kennedy in the middle. You've got Parker against Treloar, two tough nuts there. And someone like Dylan Shield, who's just been in outstanding form, is inside as well. Yeah, really looking for this game. Just want to see them just bash each other and have a real crack early.
Well, here we go. Twilight footy, round 3, thanks to McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. Mumford wins this one down. Cornelio, quick give was clever. They backpedal. Cal Ward, eyes on the footy, did well. Half back now, just assesses, has Cornelio. It's a good. Hands were sticky on that occasion. Kieran Jack would to put the pressure on, but he marks centre wing western side. So the Giants to go into attack towards half forward. Big Mummy just stuck out the mitts. He marks unopposed. He's got a couple running past. One of them, Scully, uses the handball. He's put Treloar under the pump and he's ripped to the deck. And that's holding the footy. Whitfield it was. McVeigh to take the free kick at half back.
McVeigh with a hand pass now to Jetta. Lewis is away, puts the Jets on right through the middle, kicks to an open forward line. An opportunity now for McGlynn to run into an open goal, but it's coming down to field. Free kick to the Giants.
Yeah, free kick against Lance Franklin there. He just threw his direct opponent, Joel Patfull, to the ground.
Yes, they all stop McGlynn, who was very keen to get onto it and get away with a goal. Whitfield, impressive so far this year. Kicks the Giants to the outer side. Green gets up, takes the mark. They're heading to the Randwick end in the opening quarter, the Giants. Well beaten in their previous 2 encounters here. Looks to play on Green. He who hesitates is lost. Gets run down. Free kick to the Swans. Pike takes the spillage. Handballs on the outside to Reece Shaw. Kicks Sydney towards half forward. Davis is up. Fists away for the Giants out of bounds. Sydney in front of the big scoreboard on the outer side. No scores yet, opening couple of minutes.
John Longmire be really pleased with the pressure early from the Swans. You've had 2 massive tackles. McVeigh initially, and then also...
I'll come back to you, Jude, for that one. Throw in, half forward. Kieran Jack just fires a handball.
Rowan was the one.
Patfield. No, Parker's going to cut it off. Kennedy, another handball. Boundary line beats McVeigh. Treloar, they'll toss it back in. Eastern side of the ground, half forward for Sydney. No score as yet. Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
Just watching this match up with Tippett and Mumford in the ruck. Tippett already just getting worked off by Mumford. He's really tough and a really big tank.
And Mumford works him off again, Jude, with a hand pass to Ward. Palmer's involved as well. And now Cornelio on the outer side. Kicks towards Green. Had it knocked away by Reid, who's playing in defence. And it's probably the right move for him now. They need another key defender down there. Boundary throw-in on the outer side in front of the O'Reilly stand here at the SCG. Brought to ground is Mumford by Tippett. Tapped down Kennedy with that huge body. Swung around in an arc. I reckon that's holding the ball. It is. For once, Josh Kennedy gets pinned despite having one of the biggest bodies in the game as a midfielder. Callum Ward with the free kick on the outer side.
Ward on the logo. Centre wing, eastern side, a little dabbing 9-9. It's marked by Cornelio. He's been busy early. Sweeps a handball wide. Heater Shaw comes up. He's run to about 60 from home. Low ball is pretty good and precise, and it hits Jeremy Cameron on the chest. 45 out directly in front at the Randwick end.
Massive problem there for Sydney with Tippett and also Reid sitting back behind the play. You can have numbers back, but if your direct opponents, the defenders, actually don't defend, you get cut up like they just did then. And the GWS were very good, quick hands, and then a short, sharp pass.
The 22-year-old from Dartmoor supporting the bright orange boots this afternoon, and rightly so for Twilight footy. He'll fire at goal. He's bending. I think he's missed this one. Minor score. He kicked 4-2 last week, 1-1 in his last start. So the first score on the Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard, the Giants 1 point, Sydney yet to score.
Back into play for the Swans, and on the half volley, Jake Lloyd. Handballs now towards Rampy, who was taken high and then shoved in the back close to the boundary in front of our commentary position. Giants win possession. Shaw, Heath, a hurried boot to ball intercepted by Laidler for the Swans. Kicks into vacant territory. Here's Gary Rowan, should have taken it. Looked to tap it onto Jack. Lloyd's there to lend support. Handballs to Hanbury. He's mown down from behind. Lloyd gets it back. Kicks Sydney inside 50. Out of position. No mark taken by Tippett. Rode by Heaney. Open goal. The young fella's kicked the first one this afternoon. Oh, he can play, Isaac Heaney. Sydney 1 straight 6. The Giants 1 behind on the Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
As we watch a Chemist Warehouse replay, you can see the talent of this young Isaac Heaney. The ball just comes penetrating inside the Swans forward line. Big contest there. Tippett was able to bring it to ground. And that left foot, we saw his first goal in round 1 against Essendon to kick the sealer. Very similar to be able to snap that on the left. This kid is a very young, talented player.
Around the grounds, the Crows 78, Melbourne 48. So it's the Crows by 30 points halfway through that final term in Adelaide. Collingwood by 74 Friday night, and Essendon by 21 over Carlton. Here, the Swans are 6, the Giants are 1. Thanks to McDonald's Triple M Rocks football. Disputed ball at half forward. Lloyd. That was clever. Little give. Hanbury. Low ball down. Patfull wearing Franklin like a glove. The boundary line will beat them both as they do a little Mary dance over the boundary line in front of the old member stand, and they'll toss it back in. Jude.
Early hard yakkers. Jake Lloyd's had 4 possessions. Steve Cornelio's had 4 as well.
So 45 out from the Swans goal at the Paddington end. Arriving Pike taps it down. He sure has the kick smothered, still inside defensive 50 for the Giants. Number of players mill around the contest. The umpire says, give it to me, boys. Brett Rosebery, Ben Ryan and Robert Finlay in charge this afternoon at the SCG. It's thrown up. Mumford the tap, Pike from behind. Knocks it down. Kennedy goes in, loses his footing. Scully's there for the Giants. Defensive gift to Heath Shaw. Farms a long hand pass out to Whitfield on the outer side. Cunningham in pursuit. Kicks around the body to the great McCarthy. He marks between half-back and wing on the outer side. Kicks down the line to Ward. Had enough distance on the kick. Opposed to Jack. He takes the mark, Callum Ward. Wheels in board now. Kicks it low to centre half forward. That's a magnificent kick. Cameron on the end of it takes the mark. Slightly left of centre half forward. Johnny
Longmire would be jumping out of the box at the lack of effort from guys who are actually folding back for the Swans in front of Cameron, but no one got in front to actually make a spoil. Cameron's too strong a leader and leads hard at the footy not to have someone there to make a spoil.
5 goals so far this year for Cameron, the All-Australian in 2013. On the left, inside 50, launches from 48 metres. It's an excellent kick. And the Giants are on the board at the SCG with a goal there. 1-1-7. The Swans are 1 straight 6 on the Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
Well, he kicked 5 goals at Star Trek Oval against the Swans, and he didn't look like he was even trying as well last time. He is an absolutely supreme player. We're watching the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Great transfer of play down to McCarthy along the wing. But it was Cal Ward who wheeled and turned and went inside. Josh Kennedy just not hard enough to get in front, try and block that space, because Rampy was right up the backside, but no, it's too good a kick.
There's been a free kick, June. I think there's been a bit of pushing and shoving. It'll go the Giants' way from the restart. So the GWS 7, Sydney 6. We've travelled 7.5 minutes first term. Chemist Warehouse, the home of real brands, real savings every day. So Mumford will gallop clear, kick it long and high, read the defensive fist. At the front is Kelly, hemmed into the western boundary line, goes back to Whitfield. Whitfield with a left shoe, great kick, destructive kick, high ball, coming over the top was Trelaw, couldn't hang on to it. No, said the umpire. Cameron goes off the ground. Grundy, the soccer goalie, will see it through, and it'll be a minor score. 1-2-8 the Giants. Sorry, 1-1-7 the Giants. 1 straight 6 Sydney.
Jeddah to Pike. And on the outer side, Sydney come out now with Cunningham marking outside defensive 50s. Kick is low and successful. Sliding forward McGlynn just behind the wing. Goes into the middle of the ground to Parker. Been outstanding so far this year. Looks to take on Whitfield. He can't get around him. A great tackle. He lost it. That was dropping the ball, wasn't it?
Had to be.
Taken by Grundy, though, for the Swans. They had support and Reid. Back to Grundy. They dodged a bullet. He's inside defensive 50 with a sweeping defensive hand pass to Richards. Brings it out to the western side of the ground. Rampy. That should have been a free kick for a front-on spoil against Evan Smith of the Giants. It is, and Rampy just behind the wing gets the free kick.
Just drops it on the 45. Little left shoe was low and accurate. Found Bird. Bird looks further afield. They've squared the footy now. Heaney down low. Couldn't grab the footy. Mumford to put the pressure on in the middle of the SCG. That was clever. Releases Haynes. Running, flowing blonde hair. Releases Scully now to 45. A little low ball. Cameron again. Third mark inside 50 already. And he marks the ball 40 out directly in front at the Randwick end.
Just watching watching Heaney down inside in the centre square at the moment. But as we mentioned, that just the quick transfer of play, and they did that to Melbourne last week. Just the ability to turn and go and get it going forward. They were so slow in their ball movement against Melbourne in the first quarter. They've just turned it on right here.
He's kicked 6-3 thus far. Jeremy Cameron, he should have these for breakfast. He fires, but he's pulled it. 1-2-8 the Giants, 1 straight 6. That's on the Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard. And boundary side is Liam Flanagan, thanks to Bob Jane Team Arts.
Heaney making his way to the bench for the Swans here. Just got tangled up with an opponent in the centre square and looks to have gone over on that left ankle. He's in the hands of the Swans trainers now.
Should be miles in front, the Giants. They might turn it over here at half forward. Fist down by Rowan. The Giants had the Rovers. They couldn't get the possession out. Then going to ground, Cornelio should have been nearly holding the ball. Here's Griffin looking for his first possession today. Runs into his teammate Shield. Shield goes to ground. They pile in on top, 4-on-1. That can't be holding the ball. And it'll be thrown up just inside the boundary in front of the Swans dugout.
Dominating possession here. The Giants, 10 possessions plus at the moment.
Pike the tap. The Shark by Jack. Kicks Sydney towards half forward. Knocked down by Davis. Ward comes the other way. Gets the hand pass out to Haynes with the blonde hair. Now a hand pass to Heath Shaw. He stops some props. He kicks the Giants to half forward. That's poor delivery. Reed's in the way. Circumvents it at halfback for the Swans.
Sure, that's Reed. I apologise. Just hemmed in. Goes up the line. He finds Tippett. Centre wing western side. The Giants 9, Sydney 6. We've travelled 10.5 first term. The Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard. Tippett goes up the line. No mark. Good defensive spoil. The Giants with the numbers. They share it. Haynes to Devon Smith. Centre wing western side. Quick give. Griffin, haven't called his name before. Sweeps the handball to Green. Green a little low ball towards Mumford. Couldn't mark. Good defensive spoil came from Grundy. Green follows up. Nearly had his head ripped off. Play on's the call. They share it now, the Swans. The pressure comes from Scully, releases Devon Smith, swings around, puts the ball towards the goal mouth, but it won't be a score. Rampy should be the first to get back. The boundary line will beat him. Forward pocket eastern side, and they'll toss it back in for the Giants. 1-3-9, the GWS. Sydney 1 straight 6, Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
Giants are really getting their hands on their footy. They're flicking it around by hand. Just need to make sure they execute going forward.
Deep into attack at the Ramwick end. It's tapped down. It's roved. A shot at goal by Kelly. But it's marked last line of defence by the Swans. Rampy got the hand pass out to Grundy. Hurried boot to ball. They'll clear now through McVeigh. Delivers inside to McGlynn. On the outer wing, they're out. Buddy takes the mark. Attacking side of the wing. He's got an open goal. Buddy, 50 out. You'll be beauty. You knew he was going to kick that as soon as he got it. He got on his bike and went bang. Sydney get their second against the trend, which would annoy the Giants. They're 2-1-13. The Giants are 1-3-9, or they're 2 straight 12, I should say, on the Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
We're watching the Chemist Warehouse replay, and the mark from Parker gives it off to McVeigh. Long's transfer of play. Gets it to Franklin. His first touch of the footy today, boys. Patful right on his ginger. Turns on the trusty left and loads up. Unbelievable finish.
It's a big battle, isn't it? Big battle between those two today.
Big battle, especially Giants love to play 7-man in defence, and they're just getting that roll off in front of them at the moment, but it just allows them then to get cut up at the other end.
Thanks to McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy. Sydney 2 straight, Giants 1-3. Middle stages of the first term. Phillips into the ruck now. Griffin to escape with it for the Giants. Just hacks it towards outer half forward. McCarthy comes up full-chested. Just secures the ball, does well, doesn't panic, but he goes backwards. But he hits McVeigh straight on the chest, eastern side of the ground, in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. Sydney 12, Giants 9. We've travelled 13 minutes. McVeigh just held up now. Call to play on. Get on with it, son, the umpire says. Goes up the line towards Rowan. No mark taken. Ball out of play. Left half forward for the Swans, and they'll toss it back in. Jude, if we could get some Hard Yakka stats, that would be magnificent. Nothing's tougher. Join the Legends Club, hardyakka.com.au for exclusive deals.
Heath Shaw has had 6 disposals. Tom Scully's had the 6. Jake Lloyd 5, and Hanbury's had 3.
Chance now for Jack. Hand pass intercepted by Griffin of the Giants. Quick give to Kelly. He was squeezed in, and his kick goes nowhere. Cunningham, the mark. Handballs to Grundy, to Jeddah, a fumble, turnover. Devon Smith wins it now for the Giants. Green gets possession. They're running. Cameron on the outlet. 55 out, an open goal for Cameron. He's missed again. It's 1-3 for him. 1-4 for the Giants. They trail the Swans by 2 points on the Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
When it comes to DIY home improvement, you'll find everything you need to get the job done. Local Bunnings Warehouse, lowest prices, guaranteed. It comes to Rampy, then Lloyd, then Hanbury. They share it to the running Shaw. That's Reece Style. Reece with a low ball. Jetta on the outer side, half forward now. Puts the hammer down, kicks towards goal. Bouncing ball. It has just missed. It's rammed into the post, actually. Sydney moved to 2-1-13. GWS 1-4-10. Early stages first term. Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
Really promising signs from Lewis Jerry. He's been able to cut over the lines, break the lines and get across, and that's when he's at his best.
Cornelio to Davis. Outer side, wobbly pass finds Ward at halfback. Left halfback, Kellen Ward. Delivers down the line to Scully. Some big money there with those three, all getting the footy. Just behind the wing, kicks towards half forward. And here's McCarthy, made a good start to this year, playing his fourth game. Takes the mark just inside the boundary in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. Eastern side of the SCG, kicks towards half forward. From behind, Phillips can't take the mark. Ball goes to ground. Here's a chance now for Palmer. Kick goes along the turf. Wobbles towards the goal square. In fact, it was Whitfield. It's intercepted by Reid just outside the goal square. But his pass doesn't find the target. It was intended for the Swans in Lloyd. And he couldn't quite get there. It's out of bounds. Should have been better than Reid by foot. Boundary throw in 25 around.
Swans just forced Palmer onto his right foot. He's a natural left footer. He wanted that left, but they forced him onto his right and he dribbled that footy forward.
Now, win at GWS goes back to Green. A flying shot at goal. The pressure come. And he kicked it out on the full. Sydney 2-1-13. GWS 1-4-10. And thanks to Bob Jane teammates, Liam Flanagan is on the fence.
Just a quick injury update, guys. Isaac Heaney back on the field for the Swans. He looks to be okay with that ankle concern. Keep an eye on Heath Shaw. He copped an absolute barrage in that contest on the outer wing from Gary Rowan. Left shoulder, he's carrying it a bit gingerly.
Well, GWS have worked it back inside 50. Reece Palmer's on the end of it. I'm not sure if he can go the distance because he'll have to kick this 50 metres. 16 minutes into the first term. Sydney by 3 points. And Palmer with the footy.
A lot of space each time. Both teams are zoning off a fair bit. So it comes down to your kicking efficiency and use of hands around the stoppages. Just at the moment, a few of the guys are turning it over as they're exiting the defensive 50.
So Reece Palmer with the footy. He's possibly reinvented himself a bit, Jude, over the last 12 months or so. Just averaging the 12 possessions from Bull Creek. He'll take his best journey. He likes it off the boot. It's going to miss near side. Minor score to the Giants. They move to 1-5-11. Sydney 2-1-13. Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
Yeah, I reckon Leon Cameron's really given him a good role to play, and he's actually really stood up this last few games.
Yes, defensive forward has become a goal kicker. Lloyd receives a hand pass, kicks Sydney to the wing. It's a great kick. Jack's on his own, he stopped, and he kicks towards half forward. It's a lovely kick. Mark taken by McGlynn. He'll deliver inside 50. Heaney's there, can't take it cleanly. Handballs towards his teammate McVeigh, got shoved in the back. A hand pass came quickly from Heaney. He panicked a bit, and he got shoved in the back. So did McVeigh, and I thought the free kick may have gone to McVeigh, but it'll go to the blonde-headed Isaac Heaney.
Yeah, he just fumbled the ball, and it just brought the pressure on, but the tackler actually just went over the shoulder.
So the Swans by 2 points, but the Giants have had 6 scoring shots, and they might rule those misses to the Randwick end. Heaney directly in front for his second. 45 out. Isaac Heaney is gun barrel straight once again. They're making them pay. Haven't gone forward often. 2 goals to him, 3 to the Swans. They're 3-1-19. And the Giants 1-5-11 on the Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
Yeah, just the fumble as we watched the Chemist Warehouse replay brought Tommy Bugg in. He just got the front on contact while his head was over the footy. And you can see why Melbourne bid on this young kid at number 2 as an academy-listed player. But he went to the Swans at pick 18. And sure, of course, it's going to make a big change in all the academy and father-son tradings from now on. Chemist
Warehouse, home of real brands, real savings every day. It's thanks to McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. Sydney 3-1, Giants 1-5, 18.5 gone first term. Umpire thumps it back into the turf. Pike wins this one down. Look at the bulldozing Parker. Was he held without the footy? No, said the umpire. Treloar gallops clear. Long ball. Laidler stands tall. Did that really well. Just used the hips and the body to outmaneuver Palmer and takes a fine defensive mark. He just lobs the footy, finds Kieran Jack, and they go straight up the middle. Just exiting from the Randwick end, a low ball. Heaney can't mark. Haynes was there also. Follows it up. Heaney, clever handball. Kieran Jack, one way then the other. Then caught with a footy. Spills to Devon Smith. He spins the wheels, but he kicks it high. Reece Shaw waits under the footy and will mark this in defensive back pocket Randwick end.
How good was the vision by Heaney under the pump?
The no-look handball.
Oh, brilliant. Shaw. In short to Grundy. Hits to the outer side for the Swans. Finds the target of Cunningham. Goes inside now. Back edge centre square. Bird now to build for them once again. Stopping and propping. He's got a player on his own, Lloyd, on the western side. But he feeds a hand pass to centre half back to Laidler. He's slightly uncertain. His pass is okay though to Hanbury. And Dan Hanbury marks on the wing. Delivers to half forward. Mark dropped by big Mike Pike. The big fellow though collects it. Then hooks around the body inside 50. Not a good kick. Griffin fills the hole. Takes the mark 30 out from the Giants' defensive goal square at the Paddington end where they trail by 8 points.
GWS were really slow to back in front of the defensive forwards, and then they just got the slide back then from Griffin. Really strong play.
Griffin, well, he demanded Phillips come towards him. And it was a good defensive spoil by the smaller man, Jakey Lloyd. Ball out of play in front of the members' stand. Western side here at the SCG. Sydney, the home side. They lead 3-1-19. GWS 1-5-11. 20 gone. First term. Pike, that was a clever tat. Just down to Hanbury, feeds Reed, now to the speedster in Jeddah. He turns around, hooks it high with the right shoe. Buddy comes up, tries to mark it on his chest. He can't do so. Patfull with a good spoil. Cause there, the pressure comes from all angles. Bang! Oh, hip and shoulder comes from Tippett. Upend's call, play on's the call. Patfull goes back in, collects the yellow footy. An underground handball towards the pocket. Whitfield helps him out. Scully's there also, and a good tackle on him. Ball out of play. They'll throw it in. Forward 50 for the Swans. They lead 19, GWS 11, and that's on the Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
Unbelievable hit from Kurt Tippett. 200 centimetres, big frame, just dropped him.
Tapped down by Mumford. Hanbury's there, shakes out of tackles. 40 out, swings around on the left boot towards full forward. Tippett out of position. Davis is with him, two former Adelaide players. Wins the footy, gets the hand pass off now. Good play by Whitfield, kicks towards half back for the Giants. They're under pressure. Kelly was legged as he tried to extricate himself out of a tackle, which he did in the end. He goes back now to Haynes, inside defensive 50. Haynes now will bring it out towards the outer side. Again conceding some territory, and the mark taken by Davis. Davis now for the Giants, towards half-back, or Hanbury intercepts, picks it up, snaps on the left, turnover against the Giants, another one of the Swans. Their lead out to 14 points on Triple M footy, 4-1-25 to 1-5-11. And that's on the Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
This is what we saw with the Swans against Port Adelaide, the pressure and that ability to put it up in the front half of the footy. It's unbelievable here. Just the pressure from Hanbury, intercept, spoil on Tommy Bug, turn, and great snap for goal.
Hardyacker, nothing's tougher. Join the Legends Club at hardyacker.com.au for exclusive deals. Hanbury's starting to get busy, Jude.
Hanbury's had 8 disposals. He's had 3 of those contested and kicked. That was obviously his first goal.
And grab a new lamb and feta or the chicken Caesar wrap from McDonald's today. Thanks to McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. Twilight style SCG. Sydney GWS. It's the home side by 14 points. And we're back in the middle. Pike to do battle with Mumford. Mumford wins this one down. 9 o'clock. Shield goes off the ground. Lloyd hard in off the square. He wants Jack. Jack a little fumble. Bird. Well, he's been so consistent for so long, Craig Bird, but that was a handball gone wrong, or is it coming back? It is. I thought it was a throw, but Bird will take the free kick. Western wing is rampy, just waits, props and stops. He demands Lloyd come to him. Lloyd, he'll have to go backwards. Jeddah lends some support. He's got men on the 45. That's a dangerous kick. McVeigh demands his captain comes to the ball. He took it on the half volley. He wants Shaw. Lends a hand, McVeigh, and he'll prop and stop and find Bird at centre half forward.
Bird's pass towards half forward. Here's the dangerous Hanbury. Takes the mark. Wheels around again. Wedges the kick towards Franklin. His great mates. He marks in the right forward pocket. They don't drive very well together, but they play football well together. He swings around the body, and I think he's just missed. He has to the right-hand side. Putting on a clinic, 4-2-26, the Swans. The Giants 1-5-11 at the 24-minute mark.
Well, the Jetta kick across ground, it was a very dangerous kick. It hits the hard centre wicket here at the SCG, but it was able to sit up for Jared McVeigh a big forward entry.
Well, that's a great smother coming in from Rowan. Well, he sure went with a high ball. He wanted Core. He got Core. Core turned immediately, half-back flank western side. And a great smother came from the speedster in Rowan. Ball out of play, and they'll toss it back in. 4-2-26 Sydney. 1-5-11 GWS, 25 gone first term. Mumford, he wins this one down again. That was clever by Parker. Looping long handball, demands Hanbury. Hanbury just gets the ball in the grass, looks to scoop it up. They pile in on top of him. Was that in the back, umpire? I think it might have been. Jude, help me out there.
Very good, Hanbury.
Now,
He's just ripped Tommy Bugg off the back of Hanbury right there, and he's just even told to settle down a little bit.
So Hanbury, isn't he, Tommy Bugg?
Hanbury will take the free
face.
kick. 50. You'll have to kick this 55, kicking towards the city end. New Don Bradman stand. Paddington end here at the SCG. Sydney by 15. We've travelled 25 first term. The ball in the hands of the All-Australian, averaging 27 touches. Started 2015 in white-hot form. Hanbury will load up. He gives this everything he's got. It's right to the line. They contest, ball off hands. A minor score for the Swans. 4-3-27, 1-5-11 the Giants. Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard.
He's been dominating Dan Hanbury, up to 11 disposals now. Next best is Jake Lloyd on 10 possessions.
Short to Cornelio. They've gone cold, the Giants. They missed all those shots, and since then Sydney right on top. He hugs the boundary line, Cornelio, a little bit too much really. Sliding onto it, McCarthy couldn't take the mark. In fact, it's off his shin. It's a free kick to Reid, out of bounds on the full. Drive Sydney back inside, attacking 50. A bit errant, and the reliable Patfull takes the mark in the back pocket.
That's the beauty of Joel Patfull. Just reads the play so well, sat in line. But there's Benny McGlynn just diving in front to get another spoil, and that's what the Swans do. They win the ball back as soon as they get a turnover, so they're one of the best in the competition at turning the footy over and then defending that turnover.
Sydney by 16 on the Triple M Bunnings Warehouse scoreboard. 26 gone first term. Kennedy, he's been prolific as usual. In low, burrowing in, trying to bulldoze his way through. He's going to come back. He copped one high, and he'll take the free kick. 60 from home, kicking towards the Paddington end. He goes with a low ball. He wants Tippett. Cal Ward goes back courageously. Ball to ground. Patfull, good tackle on him. That came from Franklin. Ball underneath him. He wants holding the ball, the great man. He's not going to get it. So we'll have a throw up about 20 out from the Swans goal. They lead by 16 at the 27-minute mark of the first term.
They're lurking again with intent, the Swans. They can't get boot to ball. Parker. It's cleared out of defence by Heath Shaw for the Giants. Towards the half-back flank. Reid works hard. He buffets it to his own advantage. Cameron coming the other way. Out of bounds between wing and half forward. In front of the members.
You mentioned Josh Kennedy. They've obviously put a lot of work into him around the stoppages at the moment. They've got Devon Smith who's pointing and saying, someone get right next to him. But now he's going to get the clearance.
Mumford the slap. Devon Smith rolls it on the boot. McCarthy tried to tap it on, hoping that Dylan Sheila run onto it. He was unable to, though. And it's out of bounds in front of the Swans dugout. We've got a bird's eye of this. Right on the wing, the lead 16 points close to quarter time for Sydney. And knocking it down, Mumford. Good roving, Hanbury. Sharked by Kennedy as he received the hand pass. He delivers now to Tippett. Tippett's at left half 40. Kicks into the man on the mark. Ricochets now. It's won by the Giants at half back. Bugg gets a little hand pass out. Mumford was held and he tried to slap it to the advantage of Shield. It spins around on the wing. Taken to ground is Jetta. In an excellent tackle. And now Devon Smith emerges from the congestion for the Giants.
Elusive work to Bugg, and Bugg just drops it on the left shoe. He's got Toby Green, the babyface assassin. He demands Treloar. Treloar will give it back via hand to Devon Smith. That was clever. Griffin now against the boundary line, just sets it up for the high flyers. No one can mark. Ball on the deck. Will they take this through for a point, the Swans? No. It's into the point post, so it'll be throw in. Full forward pocket for the Giants. Randwick end. They trail by 16 points, 28 minutes into the first term. We're just having a little conversation now. The umpires, they're not sure whether it was a point or it was thrown in. They're going to review this, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to be held up for just a minute. For Vero Business Insurance, a quick round the grounds, if I may. Friday night, if you missed any of the action, Collingwood by 74 points. Earlier today, the Bombers overcome Carlton by 21 points. And in Adelaide, the Crows, Melbourne's misery continues. They're 1-2 now. Crows by 25 points. They got the job done to start the season. We're just having a stoppage in play here at the SCG at the moment. 4-3-27 Sydney, 1-5-11 the Giants as we tick over. Throw in now. So the ball was out of bounds in the attacking zone, and that's too high. That'll be a free kick right on this quarter time siren.
Devon Smith.
He's got the free kick, hard angle, but he's only probably 10 or 12 metres out. So he'll kick this after the siren. They led early, the Giants. They had all the attacking options with 1-5-11. Sydney have been very efficient with the footy going forward. They're 4-3-27. Ball in the hands of Devon Smith. He's been a goal kicker. He booted 26 last year. Direct approach, and he's rammed it into the woodwork. So quarter time here. Twilight footy at the SCG, and it is the home side by 15 points. 4-3-27 the Swans, 1-6-12 GWS. Jude Bolton, Dan Lonigan, Brad Seymour, Liam Flanagan will rip it apart for you after this short break. It's thanks to McDonald's. Triple M rocks football.
This quarter was brought to you by Bunnings, where lowest prices are just the beginning.
For McDonald's Real Choices Wraps, Triple M rocks football. Triple M NRL. Get inside the game with the league's biggest lineup.
Peter Sterling.
Jordan Tallis.
Andrew John.
Wendell Saylor.
Ryan Girdler.
Mullen, then Heekers going to Gagai, gets straight through low. He takes off. 10 metres to go. Weaves around Michael Morgan and plants it down in the corner.
The footy's never sounded better.
Sunday, Triple M NRL. The Knights up against the Eels, live from the Hunter. Coverage from midday.
Triple M NRL.
Harvey Norman Home Appliances. Big brands, bigger value.
Hello, I'm Dr. Brian Owler, neurosurgeon, and this message is for you, the passenger travelling in the car. Take a look at the driver's speedo. Are they speeding? You have a choice. Say something now or be sorry later. You can't predict what's ahead, and speeding increases the risk of crashing. So speak up and tell your driver to slow down. Speeding. How sorry will you be? Don't rush.
Authorised by the New South Wales Government, Sydney.
Neil Crompton here. Have you ever stopped to think about the 5 critical components that affect the safety and performance of your vehicle? Pedders have been for over 65 years. Brakes, steering, shock absorbers, suspension and wheel alignment. Pedders call it their Performance Star. With 120 outlets Australia-wide, you can trust Pedders to check, upgrade and transform your vehicle's safety and performance. No bull. Visit pedders.com.au for your nearest location.
Today's AFL Game Changer brought to you by CrownBet. This AFL round is set to be a big one with CrownBet's head-to-head bonus special. Simply place a head-to-head bet on any match this round, and if your team loses by 18 points or less, you'll receive a match bonus bet of up to $50. Just pick any team, and if they lose by a margin of 18 points or less, you can get straight back in the game. Join today at crownbet.com.au. With CrownBet, the game just changed.
Terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly.
In 2015, the Triple M Bendix Breaks Call team rocks football. CrownBet, the game just changed. This footy season, if you're placing a bet, remember, always gamble responsibly. Pedders, for 65 years, Pedders have been the undercar experts. Check, upgrade and transform your vehicle's safety and performance at Pedders. Coates Hire, call 13 15 52, visit coateshire.com.au or drop into a local branch today. In 2015, Triple M rocks football.
Footy season has started, and that means big demands on the washing machine. Dirt, mud, heavy, wet jerseys. It never ends. Get more done in less loads with big capacity machines at Harvey Norman. Select from Fisher & Paykel, LG, Samsung. 10 kilo plus capacity equals less loads, less water, and less of your time. Wash for the whole team in one load. We can even organise installation and removal of your old unit. Visit in-store or online. Harvey Norman. Big brands, bigger value.
Attention all small businesses. Citroen have a great offer for the fuel-efficient, easy-to-load Berlingo van, which already comes with a 5-year or 200,000-kilometre warranty, whichever comes first. It's great for carpenters great for gardeners and great for dog groomers too. Visit citron.com.au to find out more about this special offer, which is available for only $1 a month and is a great deal for everyone. Visit citron.com.au to find a retailer.
Citroën, créative technologie.
Shut up! The foot is on the radio!
For McDonald's Real Choices Wraps, Triple M rocks football.
This quarter is brought to you by Commander Phone Systems. Commander.com.au, the small business phone experts.
Get excited, ladies and gentlemen, listeners. If you've just jumped in the car and you're a Swans supporter, you'd be reasonably happy at this time. 4-3-27, the Swans at quarter time. 1-6-12 to the Giants. They were a little bit wasteful. Jeremy Cameron, the main offender, he had 3 opportunities directly in front, about 40 out. He should have nailed and didn't. So at quarter time, 15 points to the home side. A quick round the grounds thanks to Vero Business Insurance. The Crows, they were 25-point winners over Melbourne earlier today. Essendon got the job done over Carlton by 21 and Collingwood by 74 points. With all the Hard Yakka stats, Hard Yakka, nothing's tougher. Join the Legends Club, hardyakka.com.au for exclusive deals. Here's a 325-game warrior, Jude Bolton.
Really close statistically across that quarter, but it was just the effectiveness of the Swans inside 50. I mean, just looking at the scoreboard, 1 goal 6 to 4 goals 3. The guys who were getting the hands on the footy around the stoppages, Dan Hanbury had 12, Jake Lloyd had 10, Reece Shaw had 6, Jeremy Laidler had 6, Ryan Griffin had 8, Devon Smith's had 8, Tom Scully's had 7. But the GWS, they've had 11 more contested possessions. They're winning the clearances. They're +4 there. They've just got to get their effectiveness going forward and actually making sure they keep hitting up Jeremy Cameron.
Before I get back to Dan Lonigan, waiting patiently boundary side is Liam Flanagan, thanks to Bob Jane Team Arts.
Just late in that first term, Callum Ward going back with the flight of the footy. Tippett came through hard. Ward's head hit the SCG turf quite heavily. The doctors have said he's okay though and he's back out there.
Yeah, he's as hard as a cat's head, Callum Ward. 1 down by Phillips. He can't get clean possession, though, for the Giants. And it'll be thrown up again.
Just the matchup of Griffin and Kennedy. Kennedy only had the 3 disposals in that first quarter. Griffin had the 8.
The McDonald's Triple M rocks football. Phillips goes in again. And there'll be another ball up. Playing his first game, Andrew Phillips, since round 8 last year, the redhead. And he taps it down again. Can't clear congestion, though, right in the middle of the SCG. Jared McVeigh was pushed out of the contest. I didn't think he had possession of it. And there's going to be another ball up.
It's a good decision to bring Phillips into the side. They need to just limit the workload on big Shane Mumford. He does such a power of work. You don't want him banged up too early in the season.
Well, Pike clears the footy and down to Reece Shaw, half-back. Just a lobbing ball. DeMartini, that was clever. A quick give to Jack. Kieran Jack will fire a goal. It'll miss near side. Heaney, Jude, just walk us through that. It was just a depth tap. Didn't take possession at the footy. 4-4-28 Swans, 1-6-12 GWS, Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard.
Yeah, didn't take possession. Knew he had Kieran Jack going past it, just to tap it in his path.
Scully receives, clears defensive 50, kicks the Giants to the wing. Phillips is up, gets it. Yes, third grab. Well done. Hung onto it nicely. Opposed to Mike Pike.
This is where they need more movement through the middle of the ground. They're very stagnant at the moment, and it means it's a forced kick down the line.
Just marginally behind the wing on the western side, in front of the members. His kick finds Reid, who sagged off opponents and read it best just inside the boundary for the Swans. Finding his way at half-back, Sam Reid. Kick's not a good one, though. Intercepted by Palmer. Gets a hand pass to Devon Smith, who shrugs off 2 or 3 tackles. Gets the hand pass to Mumford. Then goes wide now to Kelly. Delays the hand pass while being confronted. Handballs now to Palmer. Back to Kelly, hard on the boundary. Hooks a left footer inside 50. No mark taken by Kennedy. Brings it to ground. Good tackling by the Giants as Loafers taken from behind inside defensive 50. 20 metres out. The forward pressure exemplary from GWS, and they'll get a shot at goal.
It's Lockie Whitfield who made the big tackle on Jeremy Laidler there. He just, as soon as he took possession, he looked to just take the game on, and Lockie Whitfield just slammed him into the SCG turf.
So Whitfield, #1 draft pick, the 2012 national draft, and starting to find his way, averaging 25 possessions a game going into this third round match. And he's point blank range, 20 metres out, to get the second quarter underway for the Giants at the Paddington end, and he does. They cut the margin to 10 points. on Triple M football. 2-6-18 to 4-4-28, and that's the score on the Triple M Commander phone system scoreboard.
Commander.com.au, small business phone experts. Jude, they just worked their ways through that pretty well, but a mistake from Sydney, turnover from Reid.
Yeah, the turnover from Reid, I mean, they played into the Swans' hands by forcing it down the line. He gets that mark, but then to just pull the trigger inboard and turn it over, it's such a dangerous spot to turn it over. But the tackle from Whitfield, you can see everyone get around him on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. They've got to build on this sort of momentum.
Speaking of building, ripped straight into McDonald's. Lamb and feta or chicken Caesar wrap from McDonald's today. Thanks to McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Home side by 10 points, early stages, second term. Shepherding, and that'll be a free kick, will it? It will be. It'll be going to Phillips out of the ruck contest. He said Tippett just jumped a little early. That was unacceptable from the man from Adelaide. So Phillips will load up. That's a wobbly ball breaker. He'll put it deep. Inside half forward, Green picks it up, left shoe, it's going to miss to the near side, so a minor score again for the Giants. They move to 2-7-19, the Sydney are 4-4-28, Triple M Commander phone system scoreboard.
Shaw plays onto himself, handballs to Rampy in his 50 consecutive game, and he finds Cunningham at half-back, and now he delivers inboard to McVeigh, who concedes about 30 metres, and it's almost turned over by Cameron. Well inside attacking 50 for the Giants. Rare error by McVeigh, taken by McCarthy. Hooks a high ball towards the top of the goal square, trying to track at McVeigh. 3-on-1 against Cameron. There's going to be a free kick. It'll go the way of the Swans. Jared McVeigh making a couple of errors. He would be breathing a huge sigh of relief to get a free kick and relieve the pressure momentarily. Little pass to Shaw. Handballs now to Lloyd, and Lloyd's pass is successful at half-back as the Swans try and build their lead at the moment, though just 9 points.
Bird, well, he was shadowing Shield early. Now he's gone to Griffin, but he shares it with Teddy Richards from right half-back. Long ball. Gary Rowan under the footy. He needs to go hard here. He does. He gets the footy forward. They've got it inside 50. Bouncing along the line, western side, and it goes out of play about 15 to 20 metres around from the Swans' goal, a Randwick end. They lead by 9 points, 5 gone second term. Triple M Commander phone system scoreboard. Boundary umpire turfs it back in. Danger zone for the Giants here. They try to get it over the back. Davis in the way. He's just ripped off the footy, and Buddy and Haynes will escort the footy over the boundary line. A lot of players around the ball.
Yeah, a lot of players at the moment. Only one player, which is Ted Richards, and Jeremy Cameron just forward to centre for GWS at the moment.
30 out from the Swans' goal. Well done by Phillips, but it's rowed by Pike. He hooks around the body. Phillips had shoved Pike in the back, and Pike said, "Thanks very much for tapping it straight down to me, Andrew." He
pushed
just
it into
missed
his
to the
path.
left-hand side. He did.
I don't like ruckman kicking, Dan.
Tap it and get out of the way.
I'd like him just to handball there, if possible.
Yeah, there was no one there, though. That was the problem, Brett.
Haynes with the footy. He's hemmed in the back pocket. The Giants, they trail by 10 points. They go wide to the eastern side. Front and square, Sydney have the numbers. Rampy, sweeping handball. It's going to be cut off by Devon Smith. He's been busy, Jude, Dev Smith, and he's in pretty good touch too. Last year, runner-up in the best and fairest. Ball out of play. Bill O'Reilly stand, half-forward flank for the Giants.
He's up to 9 disposals, 5 of those contested. He's had the 1 tackle as well.
Mumford knocks it down. Griffin can't really get involved in the contest just yet. The former Western Bulldogs captain. Kennedy, a hand pass taken by Parker. Handballs to Franklin, who tries to bustle his way through. Patford wouldn't allow him an opportunity. Cornelio, a quick hand pass on the up to Green of the Giants. But the kick is intercepted by Cunningham. Half forward outer side, in short now to McVeigh, who takes the mark.
There's Tommy Bug.
From Bug. Yeah.
He's always in there.
Absolutely.
Is he considered a pest, Jude, Tommy Bug?
Oh, yeah, he's got a bit of history against the Swans. Don't worry about that.
He's 45 metres out. 25-degree angle. McVeigh kicks long to the goal square, and Big Mumford arrives and fists it through for a rush behind. Sydney 4-6-30. The Giants are 2-7-19 in the second term on the Triple M Commander phone system scoreboard. Triple M football thanks to McDonald's.
That shot on goal, though, came from Toby Green, who just a quick kick out of defence. He just needs to use his hands and get out of defence.
The ball finds Treloar. What is his hard yackers, Jude? Devon Smith pushes up. They've moved the ball well now. Eastern side of the ground. They move it to the wing. Phillips can't mark Sydney with the numbers. Laidler, the glue that holds them together. Rampy's there also. Errant handball. It's a mistake from Rampy here. They overrun the ball. Mumford comes steaming through. Can't force it forward. He'll get a free kick, I think, the big man. Was that in the back? I think it was. It's going to come back. And Mumford will take the free kick at right half forward.
Chalor's only had the 4 hard yackers. Other low numbers as Dylan Shields only had the 3 as well.
All right, Mumford squares the footy, corridor style now. Heath Shaw low towards the forward pocket. I'm not sure if that was the best strategy. Ball out of play, forward pocket, 20 out from the Giants' goal. They trail by 11 points. We've travelled 8.5 second term.
20 around from their goal. The Paddington end on the outer side, tapped down by Pike. Didn't do a lot with that though. They can't clear congestion, the Swans. Parker, I thought he threw that. Hanbury received a hand pass from Reid, hooks a left footer around the body towards half back. No one can keep their feet, loose ball, except Jack does. He pounces onto it. Here's Franklin now. Away goes Buddy. Handball's on the outside to Jack. That's the worst hand pass in the history. Then he gets a hand pass inside to McGlynn. Mighty Mouse has it. Kicks long inside 50. 1-on-2 against the Swans. No mark taken by Rowan. Good interception by Whitfield. And then he just curls the kick around the body, pulls the trigger nicely and finds Treloar.
Treloar in turn, another low ball. Cornelio, Swan District's boy. He's on defensive 50, eastern side of the ground. The Giants kicking to the left of your radio dial, and that's a low penetrating ball. Devon Smith, he's off to the races now. A couple of bounces, runs to 50, kicks towards goal. Jeremy Cameron kicks it in, keeps it in, and it hits the point post. It'll be a minor score to the Giants, 2-7-19, 2-8-20, sorry, 4-6-30 Sydney. Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard.
Grundy, Laidler, Jetta, Cunningham all have the footy through foot passes, then Cunningham's kick is turned over brilliantly by Palmer. Raked it in one hand, plays on quickly, wobbles a kick inside 50. McCarthy's got it close to the boundary, runs out of room, hustled and bustled over the line by Reid. 25 around from the Giants' goal.
It's a bit of
left forward pocket.
Bit of circle work at the moment. There's a lot of loose players, and it's just the turnover kicks that's it's making it race around the ground.
4-6 plays 2-8. Mumford just wants to get this over the back. Bug puts a good tackle on McVeigh. The ball in the hot spot now for the Giants. Can they feed it out? They tried it out. Kennedy will escape for it from Sydney. Goes with a low torpedo, bouncing ball, and he gains about 55 metres for his club. Ball out of play, western side, just Giants side of the wing, and they'll toss it back in. Sydney 30, Giants 20, 11 minutes second turn. Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard. They set themselves now. Davis looking after Tippett. Patfull to Franklin. They win it now, the Giants. They come back to the money man in Scully. He goes up with a high ball towards half forward. The fist comes from Richards. Ball on the deck. Devon Smith's there. Good tackle from Parker. Jetta tries to escape. Whistle on play. It'll come back going the Giants' way. I didn't see that, Jude.
Nah, Parker just held on to him, so it's his kick now.
Well, he plays on quickly, Devon Smith. We goes with a low ball towards full forward. Cameron was a 2-on-1. Rampy with a defensive fist. And it'll be a minor score again to the Giants, 2-9-21. Sydney a 4-6-30. Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard.
We'll get those inside 50s for Hard Yakka in a second, because the Giants are monopolising like they did in the opening term as Cunningham gets the hand pass on the outside to Rampy, who says, I'll kick it long in front of the O'Reilly stand. He's kicked to Heaney. Couldn't quite hang on to the mark. Might be a turnover for the Giants. Heaney, though, likes the scrap. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Callum Ward goes in hard. Scully's hand pass run down. The Swans win possession through Hanbury's hand pass, doesn't find the target. Loose ball on the outer side. Hurried boot to ball by Shield towards half forward. Again, Sydney have the numbers, and Grundy wins it from Rampy. Now he delivers towards the western side of the ground in front of our commentary position. Won by McVeigh. Floats a hand pass over the top now. Taken by Bird. Measures the kick towards half forward. Almost a one-handed to Tippett. Close to the boundary. Looks to break a tackle, does. Handballs to Parker. Also gets out of a tackle. Little hand pass now towards Feeney. Has a don't argue. To Franklin on the left. Yes, sir, Ray. Money for Jamlands, Franklin. He kicks his second. And that again was against the trend. It'll break your heart for the Giants. 5-6-36. The Giants 2-9-21 on the Triple M Commander phone system scoreboard.
We're watching the Chemist Warehouse replay, and it was the Swans entry. Tippett, strong body against Phil Davis. A ground ball in. Heaney, big palm on the GWS player. Just gives it off to Franklin. As you do, you give it to the key forward always. And he was just able to just slot that on the left. But, yeah, the Heaney palm on Devon Smith just put him to the ground and allowed that opportunity to give it off.
It's the old-fashioned don't argue. Chemist Warehouse, the home of real brands, real savings every day. Thanks to McDonald's. Triple M rocks football. Sydney by 15. We're back in the middle. Disputed ball. Pike shares it with the running Reece Shaw. Look at him go. He puts it on the right shoe. Low ball. Tippett can't mark. Cor's in a lot of trouble. That's holding the footy. McGlynn's got him. The crowd stand as one. They love the wee man, McGlynn, in the 21 Guernsey and the orange boots. And he's got a free kick, 25 out directly in front round weekend.
He's been good early, Snapper. He's only had the 4 disposed, but it's just that pressure. He's always in there pressuring the opposition, and that's what Johnny Longmire and the Sydney Swans love about this man. His ability to put pressure on the opposition, cause turnovers.
Well, he's had a couple of calf problems. He's back now. He loves it. A little bit of a fist pump. They like it behind the goals. Sydney have got 2 for the quarter. The Giants have got 1. Sydney is 6-6-42. Giants are 2-9-21, and that's on the Triple M Commander phone system scoreboard and commander.com.au. Small business phones experts, Jude.
Yeah, Benny McGlynn, just the pressure that he brings is just enormous. Obviously rushed back into the side once Nick Smith was a late withdrawal, but just to see him out there, he's just an energy. He brings everything to this side.
The McDonald's at Rocks football. Grab a new lamb and feta or chicken Caesar wrap from McDonald's. It's got me hungry. And Sydney hungry for the contest now. The lead by 21 points. They've doubled the Giants' score. 12 scoring shots to 11. Bounce in the middle. Pike is there. Gets the fist down for the Swans. No one can gain possession. Good hand pass. Cornelio pushed off the footy. Heath Shaw. Ball's in dispute in the middle. McGlynn goes in as you'd expect. Going the other way, Birdie lost control of it as well. They pile on in. Still inside the centre square, just slightly into attack for the Giants. Umpire Roseberry, one of the best in the caper, says, give it to me, boys, I'll ball it up. Tapped down by Mumford. He goes in and lays a tackle on Lloyd. Grabbed now by Treloar of the Giants. Kicks them inside 50. No mark taken by Griffin playing forward. Knocked away. Taken by Cameron close to the boundary on the outer side. He's wrapped up in a tackle as well. Thought he might have been trying to duck his head. It's close to the boundary. The umpire let it go. A lot of players around the footy. Shield grabs it now. Gets a hand pass to Ward. Here's accosted. He got one high, Cal Ward, at right half forward. He might have also just buckled at the knees and ducked the head about 40 metres out, a 15-degree angle, looking for the Giants' third goal, and they need it.
We'll just watch the replay of this one, but the gang tackling from the Sydney Swans as they're coming in, you can see the pressure around that footy. There's a couple of opportunities there for free kicks before that, but then he just wore one over the shoulder here from Pike. It was just infringed over the shoulder. But you don't mind that in terms of the gang tackling. That's what came from the Swans.
Can they kick accurately? No, they can't. They're doing everything right except kick goals, the Giants. 2-10-22. The Swans are 6-6-42. And that's the score in the Triple M Commander phone system scoreboard.
Really wasteful in front of goal. They need to be kicking these goals.
Franklin pushing up the ground. He marks from Rampy and Laidler. The big boy in the white boots. Defensive 50. Paddington end of the ground. He looks up. He doesn't like what he sees, so he goes backwards. That's an errant kick. They've got the numbers. Teddy Richards, he's there to support Grundy. They'll share it. They're hemmed in now. Western boundary line. Grundy goes with an underground ball. The Giants will pump it back in. Reece Palmer, low ball, poor kick. It'll bounce off the chest of Grundy. Picked up by Griffin. Little handball. Releases Treloar. He'll go back. Shoulders like a brown snake. Legs like pistons, but Whitfield. He grabs the footy. He puts it on the deck now. Jetta's right with him. The speedster's there. Look at Jack Burrow in low and hard. Releases Rampy now. Long kick towards half forward. They've got some space here. Parker, great tackle by Core. Brings him down. And is that holding the footy or is it in the back? The umpire says it's holding the footy. It was a good tackle from the Giants youngster, and they'll fan wide. Heath Shaw's there to lend a hand.
What a brown snake shoulders like, Brad. Love to know. There's going to be a free kick. Again, it was a poor hand pass, execution not good.
Yeah, they've just been really sloppy, the Giants. They've had their opportunities going forward, but you can't turn it over at just a simple 3-metre handball or a poor kick as Palmer did entering the inside 50 before.
Green got one in the back, got the hand pass to Shaw and then kicked to Scully. It bobbled off his chest. He marks behind the wing in the middle of the ground. They're attacking the Paddington end, but not well because they're kicking badly. He's under pressure. No, opponents approach him. Then he delivers high, more in hope towards half forward. Grundy fists away, taken by Cunningham, wearing number 7. Wore brilliantly by Brad Seymour in a stellar career. Gets it out in the direction now of Reece Shaw, taken by Heaney. Feeds over the top now to Bird. Bird's close to the boundary, kicks towards half forward. And kicks too close to the boundary. It's out of bounds on the full.
You felt for the Giants there. They're going forward, just nothing to kick to. And he's had to bomb it forward and then it's just a turnover.
They'll share it across half-back, the Giants. Cornelio, that's a clever kick. He goes wide and they've switched play. Patfull now. A couple of best and fairest with Brisbane before joining the Giants this year. Kelly, he marks half-back, eastern side, and then goes up the line with a low ball. That's a clever kick, precise. And he finds the chest of Tom Scully. Scully with the footy. Deep pockets, I hear, Jude, but he'll run clear now in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. He'll load up with a high ball, puts the Giants deep into attack. Palmer arrives at front and square. He bends it round the body. It's a pretty clever kick too. They all run to him and celebrate the ex-Docker and Reece Palmer, the unexpected goal that they needed in the second term. We've travelled 19 minutes, second quarter, and the Giants peg one back, 3:10:28. Sydney is 6:42. Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard.
Watching the Chemist Warehouse replay, the Tom Scully kick, he's once again looking upfield, no one to kick to, has to bomb it in, but good contest from Cam McCarthy and just a quality finish from Palmer. That's a perfect crumb, running front and square and then getting onto his trusty left.
Playing his 99th game today, Reece Palmer. It's been a stop-start journey for him at the Giants after winning the Rising Star back in 2008, but he's found his way.
Just playing that forward defensive half forward, and he's added another string to his bow, Reece.
The McDonald's Triple M rocks football, and the Giants making a good account of themselves here at the SCG. They just need to kick a little bit more accurately. Can Green win it out of the middle? He tried to wrench it away from a number of opponents. Josh Kennedy's a hard man to wrench it away from. Lost it, regained it. Kicks the Swans inside 50. Franklin, big pack around him. Falls to Heaney at the back. Handballs to Franklin on the outside. Franklin will break a tackle for number 3. Yes! Just squeezed it home. Just wriggled out of a tackle with ease. He's got 3, buddy. And Sydney extend their advantage on the Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard to 7:6:48. The Giants are 3:10:28. Jude Bolton.
Once again, it was Isaac Heaney inside 50, just really clean hands, gave it to Franklin. Someone who doesn't have shoulders like a brown snake is this big man. He's just bustling. Patfull trying to lay the tackle, but he just wriggled out of it, as you mentioned, Dan. Shuffles onto his left and bangs it home for his 3rd.
Ever seen a one-iron, Dan? You know what they look like?
I do, yes.
Yeah, there's not a great deal of shoulder capacity in a one-iron. 7:6:48 Sydney, 3:10:28.
I haven't used it very well, though, Brad.
The Giants. It's thanks to McDonald's Triple M rocks footy. We're back in the middle. Good bounce too. They scrap for the footy. Kennedy. Oh, the hands were slick. Hannabury now to McVeigh. The engineer goes towards half forward. Parker will get it at half forward. There's a whistle on play. It'll come back. I'm not sure where it's going. Have to wait for the Chemist Warehouse replay, but I think it's a Sydney free kick, and it's going the way of Luke Parker. 40 out directly in front. Randwick end.
Sydney dominating the clearances now. Really clean hands. Bit of a dust up in the middle.
Yeah.
They're going after Mumford for some reason. He must have done something.
Kieran Jack's up in his face.
Reece Shaw's just letting him know all about it. But Parker, well, he's been awarded 50 metres, so he'll kick this from right on the line at Randwick end. And he just whacks it through Lukey Parker, the best and fairest from last year. The crowd, the adoring crowd, stand as one and applaud, and Sydney push out. 8:6:54. GWS 3:10:28. Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard. Jude, did you see what happened on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay?
26-point lead. We're just watching the replay. It's just inside the middle. They've not really got a good camera on it, but Mumford's just grabbed Kieran Jack and unceremoniously dumped him in the middle. He's got a bit of history, Sugar Shane. He loves taking on the blokes down here, and he put Dan Hanbury on his backside in Canberra in the NAB Cup only a few weeks ago as well.
You don't think Dan was giving him a little bit of lip? Being a nice, quiet Xavier boy from Melbourne, bounce in the middle, tapped down by Tippett. Ball doesn't leave the middle of the ground. It might now. Sydney shuffle it out towards half forward. Opportunity, though, for the Giants. They try and push it towards the boundary through Kelly. Comes out now to Heath Shaw. Off the edge of the boot, Griffin runs into space.
Great kick.
Getting into the game a bit now, Griffin. There are issues with his back, but he's battling hard, the former skipper of the Dogs. 1-2 best and fairest there. Handballs now towards Shield. Shield's hemmed in. He's confronted. He's lost control of it. Can't get much support. Sydney's swarming here at half back in front of the members on the western side here at the SCG, and there's a free kick for holding the ball. And I don't know how the umpire picked that out. I reckon Devon Smith just happened to be hanging around, put a hand on an opponent. The umpire said that'll do.
There's a few hands up in the air looking at the umpire. No one knew what was happening there. Devon Smith was unsure he got it.
In short to Shield, left half forward with the Giants down by 26 points.
Shield, he'll set this up for the high flyers. Mumford's there. Third man up was Reed. Just kills the contest. Palmer goes off the ground. Teddy Richards, full-chested, comes steaming out, keeps the ball in front. Hanbury has his go. They force the ball forward. Hanbury, Tippett, they're all there. Now Pike puts his snout over the footy, just tries to get it out. They've got it out of defensive 50 now. It'll come back in. Whitfield with the footy on the left peg. He'll put it high towards full forward. Teddy Richards can't mark. Reece Shaw's there to lend a hand. McVeigh's there also, one way than the other. Sells some candy. Greg Grundy's under the pump. He goes back to McVeigh. McVeigh, well, forever the cool customer. Just puts it round the body into Laidler's lap at half-back.
Laidler's kick's a shocker. Turned over by Whitfield, who on the left swings around just in front of the scoreboard, 40 metres out, and misses to the right-hand side.
Laidler actually kicked it to the man on the mark, and look, he was actually able to wheel around and have that shot straight away.
His disposal does let him down, Laidler.
Yeah, that's probably his down point over the time. He's just, Carlton probably just saw that he did turn it over at times.
Sydney by 25 points. The Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard. I think we might have had a blood rule, so we've got another little hold-up in play. And Sydney to bring it back in. McVeigh. We're underway again now. He goes short to Richards, and Richards on the right shoe. They choose the western side. Jetta's there, coming up full-chested. Well done, Nick Haynes. He charged at the footy. A little low ball is clever, and it's marked by McCarthy. 45 out, 45-degree angle at the Paddington end.
You love seeing that attack on the ball. Nick Haynes, sensational. It was a bouncing ball. Two blokes coming together, but he just wanted it more. Lewis Jetta just took one step, a little bit shorter step. Haynes bursting through and hits him up. Here's a shot for Cam McCarthy.
You like this bloke, Jude? He launches at the footy.
He just plays that third tall very well. He's just, pretty strong mark, and he's got a bit of an elusive attitude about him.
Kicked 3 in the first couple of games, and this one will just fade late, and that'll be a minor score for the Giants. 3-12 now, the Giants. 3-12-30, 8-6-54. Sydney Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard, and I'll get downstairs in just a moment. Liam Flanagan, boundary side.
Jeremy Cameron on the bench for the Giants at the moment with the blood rule, just some blood coming from the nose, and he had plenty to say to the umpire on his way off as well. Not a happy camper at the moment.
For Bob Jane T-Marts is a great kick by Richards. It allows Lewis Jetta to run into space on the western side. Kicks inside 50. Franklin tried to shove Davis out of the contest, but Phil stayed his ground. Did well and then gets tackled. Hand pass no good. Intercepted by Rowan, who shakes the tackle. Rare possession. Gets it to Bird. Bird kicks to the top of the goal square. Tippett can't mark it. Doing well to try and get his foot on the boot.
Don't tell me.
He stumbled. I think he's kicked the goal. That is accidental tourist stuff. Has he kicked that? I think they're going upstairs.
I think
he stumbled and bumbled like Susie Quattro and Chris Norman, but he got his boot to ball, and I think he's kicked the goal.
We'll have a quick look. Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen, Jude.
It's gone through the legs of Toby Green, although he's claiming like he's touched it. Has he touched it?
Yeah, so he actually grounded the footy and somehow kicked it, but I think they've got to check the hand from Toby Green. They've got to check that hand. But he's actually kicked the goal.
The crowd like it, but I'm just waiting for the final decision.
It's hard to know whether he got a finger to it, but it's unbelievable. the flexibility of Parker to get his boot as he's stumbling, falling, his chin's a foot from the ground, and to get that boot to ball was incredible.
Well, we've got a bit of a hold-up in play. It might be a good time to have a look at the Triple M Hard Yakka stats. Jude, nothing's tougher.
Goal.
It's a goal.
Oh.
Listen to that.
Magnificent by Luke Parker. He couldn't do that again. We know he's in magnificent form if he tried. I don't think Buddy could do it if he tried. 2 goals to Parker.
He's eating grass as he's falling and gets the foot to it. It is just one of the most freakish goals you will see.
A party trick. Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard. Sydney by 30 points. They're 9-6-60. The Giants 3-12-30. As you were, Hard Yakka stats, Jude.
Hanbury's had 16 leads, all comers. He's had 7 of those contested. Devon Smith's had 14. Then it goes Jared McVeigh, Reece Shaw on 12, and Josh Kelly's had 12, and Tom Scully's had 12 also.
Thanks to McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Sydney by 5 goals, middle stages, second term, and jump into McDonald's as soon as you can. Grab a new lamb and feta or a chicken Caesar wrap from McDonald's today. They'll throw it back up in the middle. Cornelio, he's got his snout over it. He can't control the footy. Devon Smith can. Uses Treloar on the way out. They work it to the eastern wing. High ball towards half forward. Grundy leapt early. He just bashes the footy down. Hanbury, he turned it over. That was clever from Green. Whitfield, he wants Mummy. Mummy was tackled, brought to the ground. Cunningham was slick with his hands, as was Kennedy. Tries to get it on the way out. He can't, and they've turned it over. Griffin with the footy now. Green, all handballs. They work it inside forward 50. Treloar goes with a low ball, and it misses everything. Ball out of play, forward pocket for the Giants. City end of the ground, and they'll toss it back in. 9-6, plays 3-12. 30 minutes gone, second term.
Only a minute 30 to go in this quarter, and they just need to find a goal somehow. 30 points down. GWS have to lock it in and get a goal here.
Tap down, a chance for the Giants. Cornelio had the kick smothered. He got it back. Defensive give now. Snap, and it goes towards the goal line, and it's not through. Devon Smith had the shot then. Another behind. 3-13-31 to 9-6-60. 16 scoring shots to 15 on the Triple M Commander Phone System scoreboard as McDonald's rocks football for Triple M.
Laidler, he'll bring it back in from the City end. He goes long and wide. Franklin can't mark. Giants with the numbers. Kelly, that's a great smother from Hanbury. He forced the turnover, ball towards the boundary line. They share it via hand, comes back to McGlynn. He goes up the line now. No one can mark. Was that a push out? I think it was. Dying seconds, first half. Gary Rowan with the footy. Western wing. He just launches towards Tippett. High ball, double fisting. That was Patfull. Ball out of play. Defensive 50, and they'll toss it back in. 9-6 plays, 3-13. 30 and a half gone, second term.
They flicked that match up, so Tippett's now being manned up by Patfull.
Hardly seen it, Tippett. What a good player Patfull is. Tapped down brilliantly by Pike Franklin on the rope. Off the edge of the boot. Just goes across the face away from Patfull and Tippett. He nearly kicked his fourth. He was running at 100 miles an hour.
But
How
he's
good was that?
also on the wrong foot. He's only got the left peg. And he's just tried to banana it. Would have been unbelievable.
Handy bit of ruck work. 29 points to diff. Dying stages, first half. Throw in forward pocket for the Swans. Tippett does the work. He's sure. He finds it in the grass. Goes with a high ball. Is it too wide? It is. It'll be out on the full. Reg Grundy in the orange boots will bring it back in. 27 seconds on the clock. Sydney by 29 points. Grundy with the footy. He just puts it back into a sea of players. Heaney will fly. Davis flies over the back and he marks. Just extinguishes that forward foray for the Swans. Davis with the footy. He on the way out. And McVeigh with a good spoil. Ball out of play. Defensive 50 for the Giants. Eastern side of the ground. They'll toss it back in.
Another example then of the Swans defending the turnover. Phil Davis, unbelievable mark in that contested situation. First kick out of defence. McVeigh gets the spoil.
Phillips and Pike to do battle. Ball at the back. McGlynn's there. Pike just hacks it forward. Heaney marks it. Well, something out of nothing. Pike did really well. Heaney's marked 45 outs. We're about to hear the siren. There it is to end the first half. But Heaney has the footy. He's already kicked 2 in the first quarter. He'll have to launch this from outside 50. Isaac Heaney the kid from Newcastle, taken at pick 18 in last year's draft. He kicks this, Boy, does he kick it! Oh. He's got 3, the kid. And they love him behind the goals at the Randwick end. All the players get to him, red and white style. And that is half-time here at the SCG. Sydney 10-6, 66. The Giants are 3-13, 31. They're Sydney by 35 points. Dan Lonigan, Brad Seymour, Jude Bolton, Liam Flanagan will break it all apart for you when we get back just after this quick break. Thanks to McDonald's Triple M, rocks football.
This quarter was brought to you by Commander Phone Systems. Commander.com.au, the small business phone experts.
For McDonald's Real Choices Wraps, Triple M rocks football. The Triple M Grill Team.
Are you at the age where you should have learned something and you've only just found out and gone, Tell us, what didn't you know?
I just realised that you had to put stamps on letters.
I tell you, Steve, back in the good old days, mate, I had a stamp collection.
Matthew, you're now called a philatelist. A philatelist.
The stamp collector's
a philatelist.
Can someone give us a ring and tell us how
you pronounce that?
Gus, MG and Matty Johns. Triple M Breakfast.
Back Monday. Legends. The grit under the fingernails, making stuff with their hands sort of men. Guys like your granddad who built this country. The firefighters and armed forces protecting us. And everyday blokes who can build a barbecue and get it going all in one afternoon. At Hard Yakka, we're celebrating legendary people with a legendary club. Sign up at hardyakka.com/legends and you'll get discounts on gear to help you get done. Plus monthly giveaways and prizes. Legendary.
Today's AFL Game Changer brought to you by CrownBet. This round is shaping up to be a big one with CrownBet's head-to-head multi-bonus bet. Place a 4+ leg head-to-head multi, and if one of your selections doesn't win, you'll receive a match bonus bet up to $50. That's right, get back in the game with a match bonus bet if you place a 4+ leg multi-bet and one of your teams doesn't win. Place your bets today at crownbet.com.au. With CrownBet, the game just changed.
Terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly.
Dad, are you mad?
I would have to be.
There's cars everywhere. We're seriously overstocked. New Holden, new Nissan, and 100 workshop-tested used cars.
So what's the deal, James?
It's obvious. Sell them. Make an offer. No reasonable offer refused. They must be cleared this month. New Holden, new Nissan, and 100 used cars. Come and see me, James. I'm on holidays. Windsor Holden and Nissan. Macquarie Street, Windsor, or windsorholden.com.au. Let's go there.
In 2015, the Triple M Bendix Brakes Call Team rocks football. CrownBet, the game just changed. This footy season, if you're placing a bet, remember, always gamble responsibly. Holden, the new Holden Colorado, with up to 500 Newton metres of torque. It won't look new for long. Bob Jane T-Marts, the tyre and wheel specialist. Bob Jane T-Marts, we won't be beaten on price. In 2015, Triple M rocks football.
As a builder, there are some parts of your life you can't control. That client that keeps changing their mind.
No.
That apprentice that hasn't quite got the hang of it. And of course, the weather. But you can control who you buy your supplies from. So for personal expert service, choose Hudson Building Supplies. Hudson understands your needs, will meet you on site and help you manage your business. Visit hudson.com.au. Hudson with a H. Serious about trade.
Welcome. Would you like sales or accounts?
Sales.
You have selected accounts. To speak with an operator, say yes.
Yes.
Welcome. Would you like sales or accounts?
Sales.
Accounts menu.
Speak to someone who listens. At Red Z, we judge each small business loan on a case-by-case basis. So if you're looking to borrow, we're all ears. Visit redzed.com.au or call your broker today.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
For McDonald's Real Choices Wraps, Triple M rocks football.
This halftime break is brought to you by IGA Liquor, giving you great deals every day on your favourite brands.
Welcome back. The lights are bright. And you're at the SCG this evening. Twilight footy style, round 3, 2015. The Swans hosting the GWS, and it's the Swans by 35 points at the main break. They led by 15 points early. It was intense, and it was a fair scrap early on. GWS's inaccuracy has been very, very costly. I'll repeat the score: 10-6, 66 Sydney, 3-13. 31 GWS. Dan Lonigan, Jude Bolton join me. Jude, how have you seen it to date?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. It's just basically the effectiveness going inside 50 for GWS. They're getting enough of the footy. They're winning it around the stoppages. They're actually winning the clearances. They've been clean with their hands, but just some of the execution going forward has just caused those turnovers, and Sydney have been deadly once they've got it inside 50. If you look at even just that last quarter, 15 inside 50s for Sydney. They kicked 6 goals, 3, whereas GWS had more inside 50, 16, and kicked 2 goals, 7. You can't come back with a quarter where you have 9 scoring shots and kick 2 goals, 7. Just some of the ball winners. Devon Smith was really good that quarter. He had 10 disposals. Treloar had 9. But it was for the Swans, it was guys like Cunningham, McVeigh, both having 8 disposals. Shaw was really solid. Rampy's getting his hands on the footy. But they're just cleaning them up as they enter inside 50.
This is the halftime break for IGA Liquor. IGA Liquor giving you great deals every day on your favourite brands. As I turn to you, Dan Lonigan. Dan, some of the matchups that Sydney seem to have got spot on to date, and that's been Craig Bird and his influence on Dylan Shield. Dylan Shield, his stats just quickly before I turn to you, Dan.
He only had the 6 disposals then.
Yep.
And full game.
Anyway, he hasn't had a great influence on the game to date, but Shield and Griffin started to come in, and they've been flipping Craig Bird. And underheralded player, underrated player for Sydney, just gets the job done week in, week out. He's been able to flip between Shield and Griffin. How have you seen that?
Well, I think that he's only underrated outside the Sydney Swans. The other interesting thing is, I wonder whether John Longmire's asked Craig Bird to tag the tagger, because Dylan Shield has been given many big jobs, hasn't he, in his short AFL career as a tagger. He's an attacking player too, and he's averaging 27 a game. So not only, Jude, has he learnt to be a tagger, he's also learnt to get the footy as well, and he's become a very important member of that side. I mean, it is a gun midfield with a lot of potential. Griffin's the cream on the cake. Hasn't quite worked yet, but what I'm hearing is he's back. It's still causing him problems, which caused him a lot of issues last year.
If you look at Dylan Shield, he has only had the 6 disposals, and it has been a great job from Craig Bird. And you mentioned about, I guess, the tagging roles that he has done over the time, and that's what good coaches do, is they give them, these young kids who come out of the under-18 system, jobs to get after the good ball winners. And Dylan Shield, he kicked 3 goals last week, as you mentioned, averaging 27 disposals. So that's been a really important matchup. And obviously the Franklin getting on top now has been playing a big part to have the 3 goals on the board. But he's just his influence around the forward 50 as well. He's a dominant force. It allows Tippett to be that more the standalone player inside 50 and bring it down.
Mate, the other one is, interestingly enough, and before we turn our attentions to the home side, because they are leading by 35 points at the main break, GWS held the Saints to 68 points in round 1. They restricted Melbourne last start to 56 points. Sydney have got hold of them a bit early.
Oh, well, I think you also look at the tiered fixturing system, and I think that's where the Swans coming into this game would have said our form line is probably better than GWS. That's what they would have said to themselves. The fact is that they have been only played, St Kilda and Melbourne. So you look at the opposition. They have, if you crank up the pressure against a team that's only come up against some measly teams like that, then
they're better than St Kilda and Melbourne now, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, St Kilda obviously went up and touched up Gold Coast and played some really good footy. However, didn't bring the pressure against Collingwood last night, and got found out as well.
The 2 aforementioned sides, you're talking about the 2 sides that finished 17th and 18th on the ladder.
That's right.
Last year in Melbourne and St Kilda. So in relation to that, and an extension of my question is, how far have they come? How far? They're up against a fair dinkum outfit this evening, and they trail by 35 points at half-time, yet they've had 16 short scoring shots at goal. same as Sydney.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're creating enough chances. They're getting their hands on the footy. They just have to hit the scoreboard and put some scoreboard pressure on the Sydney Swans, and that's what they did in Canberra against the Swans, and it cranked up the pressure. They're defending a lot better. They're voicing and communicating to each other along the ground, and just forcing those turnovers just cannot hit the scoreboard well enough.
Sorry, Dan.
You're right.
And I know you love going into McDonald's, mate, because grab a new lamb and feta or chicken Caesar wrap from McDonald's today. And thanks to McDonald's, Triple M rocks football. If you've just joined us, we're in the halftime break. It's the Swans by 35 points, 66 plays, 31. You were going to mention, Dan. Where were you going to take us?
I was, trying to, Brad, with my limited wisdom, but I was just trying to say that there is a game profile in regard to if you play between 50 and 100 games, Jude, you're probably on your way as a football team, aren't you? And
that's
GWS have got 9 of those now.
Yeah, I always believe that it's around that time, 40 to 50 to 60 games, you start to actually understand, I can play AFL footy, or I know what it's about.
Yes.
And they have got those sort of guys who have played a lot of footy together. They're starting to build, obviously throwing a Griffin and a Patfull into that mix gives a bit of experience around those guys who are really playing a lot of footy together.
I tell you a young kid that knows a bit about it, Jude. His name is Isaac Heaney, and we'll discuss him straight after the break because we've got to take a quick one. Don't go anywhere. The Oz Kickers are doing their stuff on the SCG. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back soon. 10-6-66 Sydney. They lead by 35 points. GWS 3-13-31. It's thanks to McDonald's. Triple M rocks football.
This halftime break was brought to you by IGA Liquor, giving you great deals every day on your favourite brands.
For McDonald's Real Choices wraps, Triple M rocks football. Triple M NRL. Get inside the game with the league's biggest lineup.
Peter Sterling.
Gordon Tallis.
Andrew Johns.
Wendell Saylor.
Brian Girdler. Mullen, then Heekers going to Gagai, gets straight through low. He takes off. 10 metres to go. Weaves around Michael Morgan and plants it down in the corner.
The footy's never sounded better.
Sunday, Triple M NRL. The Knights up against the Eels, live from the Hunter. Coverage from midday.
Triple M NRL.
Harvey Norman Home Appliances. Big brands, bigger value.
Today's AFL Game Changer, brought to you by CrownBet. This round is shaping up to be a big one, with CrownBet's head-to-head multi-bonus bet. Place a 4+ leg head-to-head multi, and if one of your selections doesn't win, you'll receive a match bonus bet up to $50. That's right, get back in the game with a match bonus bet if you place a 4+ leg multi-bet and one of your teams doesn't win. Place your bets today at crownbet.com.au. With CrownBet, the game just changed.
Terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly.
The party never stops. Nickelback. No Fixed Address Tour. Friday, May 22, All Phones Arena. This is a must-see show. Nickelback rocks all the hits. Go to livenation.com.au for tickets. New album, No Fixed Address, out now.
When people come to Bunnings, they know they're going to get the lowest prices.
You don't have to shop around. Absolutely not.
Your dollar goes further with the lowest prices here. You can make a massive difference to your home and not have to spend that much.
So you can come into Bunnings and think that you're going to get a little bit done, but with those lowest prices, you can actually afford to dream a lot bigger.
Who doesn't want to get more value for your money?
Bunnings customers know they're going to save money right the way through the store.
We've got the lowest prices, so you can do more around your home. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
In 2015, the Triple M Bendix Breaks Call team rocks football. CrownBet, the game just changed. This footy season, if you're placing a bet, remember, always gamble responsibly. Pedders, for 65 years, Pedders have been the undercar experts. Check, upgrade and transform your vehicle's safety and performance at Pedders. Holden, the new Holden Colorado, with up to 500 Newton metres of torque. It won't look new for long. In 2015, Triple M rocks football.
An Anzac Day game.
Amazing.
When you pull on the jersey that week, it's special.
The sacrifices we make to play are nothing
compared to what they made 100 years ago. We play every week for our mates and our fans, but on Anzac Day, we play for them too.
Roosters v Dragons at Allianz Stadium.
It's a tradition.
It's an honour.
Gates open 1:30 Anzac Day, Saturday 25th of April. Kick-off at 4 p.m.
I'm proud to be part of it.
Neil Crompton here.
Have you ever stopped to think about the 5 critical components that affect the safety and performance of your vehicle? Pedders have been for over 65 years. Brakes, steering, shock absorbers, suspension and wheel alignment. Pedders call it their Performance Star. With 120 outlets Australia-wide, you can trust Pedders to check, upgrade and transform your vehicle's safety and performance. No bull. Visit pedders.com.au for your nearest location.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
For McDonald's Real Choices Wraps,
Triple M rocks football.
turn the radio on! This quarter is brought to you by Harvey Norman Home Appliances. Big brands, bigger value.
Get on board. Round 3, SCG Twilight Footy. Spectacular autumn night. If you've missed any of the action thus far, Collingwood, Essendon and Adelaide have been the winners. And right here, as the Sydney Swans come back out onto the arena after half-time, they lead by 35 points. 66 plays an inaccurate GWS 313-31 at the main break. Jude, just before we went to that commercial break, I mentioned a young man wearing the number 5 Guernsey. He kicked 2 in the first quarter. He kicked a 48-metre bullet in the second. He's got 3. He's been quite prominent, just buzzing around at half forward. I speak of Isaac Heaney. The other big fella, Franklin, he's got 3. Parker's got a couple, the main scorers, goal scorers for the Swans.
Yeah, Heaney's running at 100% effective disposals at the moment. He's only had the 7 disposals, but he's obviously kicked the 3 goals, 4 contested possessions, 4 uncontested possessions, and also been laying some tackles. So he's been really impressive. As you mentioned, Franklin's been super. He's kicked the 3 goals, 1. Lukey Parker has also hit the goal. He's the multiple goal kicker with that incredible goal as he was falling on his face. But Dan Hanbury's been one of the best players on the ground from my mind. He's kicked the 1 goal. He's had 17 disposals, 9 uncontested and 8 contested.
A captivating display last week against a fellow contender in Port Adelaide, just restricting them to, I think, about 44, 45 points. How have you seen Sydney's defensive attitude throughout this game? I open that up to the both of you.
Yeah, I think it was stemmed from the tackles early on with tackles from Rowan, tackles from McVeigh in that first quarter, and you've seen the intercept mark from Benny McLean, a chase down tackle, and that's those sort of things that the Swans really pride themselves in. They brought that against Port Adelaide, and they brought it again tonight.
Sorry, Dan?
For a long time, guys, Sydney have been, lucky's not the right word, but very good at managing their players. And you're a prime example of that, Jude, not missing a lot of football. It has helped that Ted Richards and Heath Grundy, I think, have missed 1 game not playing together in the last 4 years, and they've managed to build their defence around those two.
And it's so critical in their push this year to the finals that those 2 guys stand up, because they are critical players for the Swans' defence, and also, you know, on the other side of 30. So, you know, they really need to make sure that those 2 guys still play a lot of footy together. They're such an important part.
This is the halftime break for IGA Liquor. IGA Liquor gives you great deals every day on your favourite brands. You mentioned those 2 key pillars, and I will drop downstairs in just a moment to Lee Flanagan. But the other man in the tall, Jude and Dan, that's been floating from forward to back, he's a bit of a swing man, but he looks to be playing more in defence now from Sydney. Played on Westhoff last week, and I speak of Sam Reid. How have you seen him fitting into the back 6?
I think he's fitted well. I think probably previously when he's gone down there, he's probably been thinking, I just want to get back up forward. It looked like he's trained a lot during the pre-season as a defender, and he's been coming over as that, the second tall in, being big punch, and he's got some really effective spoils. So I like him down there as a defender, and I think he just needs to, suck it up and just play as a defender for the whole year.
And see, they've got Latham as well, sort of replacing Alex Johnson along with Rampy. So they've got plenty of height down there. Now, Nick Smith, of course, is the specialist small back pocket. He's not there tonight, but he plays that role beautifully. And Reed Shaw as well, sort of replacing, not so much replacing Melchetsky.
Yeah, well, Laidler came in as he was recruited to take over from Matner as that floating half back and just intercept mark, and he's done it very well.
Well, we're all set to go in the second half. Sydney by 35 points. Players in their positions: Griffin, Mumford, Cornelio and Ward in the middle for the Giants.
Cornelio and Kennedy.
Hanbury, Jack and Kennedy in the middle for the Swans. Any other mismatches you see, Jude?
Oh, not so much mismatches, just a quality match-up in Griffin and Kieran Jack inside. Phil Davis has got the job on Tippett still, so really looking forward to seeing that.
Thanks to Bob Jane T. Marks. Liam Flanagan.
Just recapping the subs to start this second half, neither the Swans nor the Giants have activated theirs at this point. For the Swans, Dean Towers still wearing the green vest, and for the Giants, Nathan Wilson. And that rain we spoke of, boys, it looks like it's going to miss us, so good news for Sydney Swans fans.
Just Franklin starting up on the wing at this centre bounce.
Thanks to McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. We're underway in the second term. Mumford v Pike. Mumford. Pike wins this one down. Hard off the line. McGlynn, look at him crash in. Torpedo style. Comes to Green. Green a little left shoe. A little dribbling ball towards half forward western side. The racers come at it. Heath Shaw is there. That was Reese. I apologise. Lloyd was a clever with a handball. McVeigh, look at him put his body in. That was Shaw. But a good tackle that came from Reese Palmer. Ball out of play. About 60 out from the Giants' goal western side.
People probably wonder why would you start a Franklin up just sort of defensive side of the centre circle, and they put him up there. Patfull starts back. It just allows him to give a bit more protection to the centre bounce and maybe get his hands on the footy to take it inboard.
Mumford turns Pike inside out. It spills to the back. The hand pass comes out from the Giants' bug. Now Kennedy gets good hands on it to Hanbury. Now to Franklin at halfback, as Jude mentioned. High ball towards the wing. Bouncing in front of Tippett. Taken by Davis, his opponent. Gets the hand pass off now defensively to Whitfield. Pops a little kick into the middle. Peers in and sees that Patfull's there. Runs onto it. Has a bounce, the defender. Kicks to centre half forward. Nice kick. And getting away from Grundy, you can sag off a little bit, is McCarthy. Takes the mark 40 out directly in front.
So you can see that Franklin actually got the footy, transferred it down. He was at half back. His direct opponent, Patfull, who'd sat back, was the one that they transferred through the middle, and it sat up, and you could see the pace from Patfull. Packed it under the arm, tucked it under the arm, and hit McCarthy up nicely.
McCarthy, 6 goals this year, 40 out. He's there to kick goals for the GWS Giants. And once again, like the first quarter and the second quarter, they've kicked the first goal of the term. It's only taken them a minute 40, and they're 4-13-37. The Swans are 10-6-66 on the Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
Well, that's the idea of those sitting back and just defending. You're able to then sweep it if you can get the turnover. They look inboard, and it was Patfull who was able to get his hands on the footy, but the man with a pretty ordinary mo and a little bun at the back of his head, McCarthy, gets his first goal of the night. The score is 29 points the Swans' way.
Sydney 66, the Giants with the first of the second half. They're 37. The influential Joel Patfull won a couple of best and fairest at Brisbane before joining the GWS Giants this year. Thanks to McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Errant bounce. So we'll do it all over again as players make their way outside the centre square. 10-6 plays 4-13. 2.5 gone third term. Pike, he wins this one down. Jack, that was clever. That was a very slick handball. He wants Jeddah. Jeddah comes at the footy. He turns it over, but to Heath Shaw. Heath Shaw with the outside of the boot. Got Toby Green. They fan wide. Eastern side of the ground. Half forward now. Griffin, he receives the footy from Green. He looks up. He sprints around. He puts it to the hot spot. Cameron will fly. No mark. McCarthy at the back. He's a chance to boot 2 in a minute. And he celebrates in the pony's tail and all. McCarthy's got 2. Well, the Giants needed to hit back, and they've done so, and they've done it quickly. 5-13-43. Margin now back to 23 points. Sydney 10-6-66. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard. Harvey Norman Home Appliances. Big brands, bigger value.
We saw the Chemist Warehouse replay, the long kick in from Griffin. They all flew up in the pack, and McCarthy was the only one who stayed on the ground. Picked it up, rolled onto the left, but rolled boundary side, and it was just a quality finish on the left, and he was very excited. They've had 2 inside 50s, both times ending up with McCarthy 2 goals on the board.
Wonderful to be here for McDonald's. Triple M rocks football, and the Giants maybe mounting their move. 2 goals to McCarthy inside 5 minutes. Margin back to 23 points Sydney's way. Ball's in the middle. No one can get a clean possession. Ward does now, kamikaze style. Feeds a hand pass out to Kelly and then to Shaw. Running off the line around the wing. Runs through the middle. Couple of bounces. Kicks inside 50. But it clears Big Phillips and the mark taken comfortably by Grundy. Dishes off by hand now to Reece Shaw. And in the direction of Heaney. Delivers to the wing now. An opportunity if he can pick it up, McGlynn. He does. Now he delivers in short and he finds Jeddah. Jeddah looking to build now for the Swans. The kick to half forward. Over kicks Cunningham. Good hand pass. No, not a good hand pass from Rowan. Misses the target and the Giants will clear. Shield a rare possession. He gets the hand pass out and now Green does towards the outer side and away they go again.
Whitfield, look at him go. Don't worry about his shoulders, Jude. He's there. He feeds Shield. He's going to get it back. A couple of possessions now. Left shoe little around Bender. And it's a good ball too. McCarthy marks 55 from home. He looks up, moves the ball quickly. Griffin works for him. And Griffin marks hard against the boundary line. Eastern side of the ground, only about 40 from home.
It's those sort of transfers of play, and you can see how strong this GWS side are going to be. The play from Whitfield, just to turn and roll onto the left and hit his target, just so calm under pressure, and that's why Griffin has the ball and shot on goal.
202 with the Dogs before walking out last year. Ryan Griffin, that's a pretty good kick. They got 3 in a row, the Giants. Here they come. They've got the allure between the nostrils. They move to 6-13-49. Sydney at 10-6-66. 5 gone. Third term Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
The Swans have hardly touched it. It's 26 disposals to 15. They've had 7 contested possessions, only the 5, and the 4 inside 50. Sydney are yet to take the football inside 50. They need to stop this little run and big momentum, and we saw at GWS against Melbourne when they came from 45 points down and kicked 13 unanswered goals. So you need to stop the run right now.
The McDonald's Triple M rocks football. I wonder if someone like Griffin could turn into a leading forward and be very handy up there. That was a terrific goal. Ball's in the middle. A chance for the Swans to try and clear it. Big Mumford just barged his way through after Parker slipped over. They get it back inside 50. Loose ball. Reid will grab it. Free kick. It was heading in McCarthy's direction. He got shoved out by Rampy. His momentum carried him forward. He kicks into the pocket looking for Cameron. He can't take the mark. He had the field against him. And it's run over the boundary by Devon Smith of the Giants. But no, he gets a late call for a high tackle put on him by Ted Richards. Right forward pocket. Swans in some trouble at the moment. The Giants, with all the momentum, they've kicked 3 goals inside 7 minutes. Devon Smith likes the goal.
He loves it. He has not even looked inside. He's just put the mouth guard in the pouch and he's just going back and going straight for goal.
He's virtually with us, right on the boundary. 52 metres out. He kicks towards the top of the goal scorer. Dropped short. Fisted down by Grundy. Overrunning at Griffin. 20 metres out from the goal. The Giants are kicking too. Now a hand pass comes out from Lloyd. Loose ball to halfback. Picked up by Scully at half forward for the Giants. By hand to Cameron. He swings it long to full forward. Grundy's camped underneath it. Knocks it away. He should collect it. He'll get a hand pass out. It's almost run down. Now Shaw will alleviate the danger for the time being for the Swans around the outer side.
He's away, Rishi Shaw, the eastern boundary line. He heads towards the Bill O'Reilly. Jeddah uses the body well. He races clear of Whitfield, puts on the burners. High ball towards full forward. There's holding on. Franklin free kick. 35-degree angle, 35 from home, Paddington end.
Phil just felt the pressure there. Big Phil Davis. He just turned inside out, but the body work from Jeddah up the field. The kick was not favouring him, and he just was able to body his opponent and get the ball and turn and look inside. He's hit Franklin up in the pocket.
They've got to get the ball in quickly, Jude, do they not, the Swans? If it's a one-on-one, they'll back Tippett or Franklin one out.
Across all AFL games, you need to be moving the footy quickly inside 50. We're seeing that across the competition. We've seen West Coast looking to move the footy a lot quicker, and they got it into Josh Kennedy, and he kicked 10.
Well, he's in pretty good form, Big Bud. He lines up, but he's dragged this one to the near side. Sydney moved to 10-7. 67, GWS 6-13-49, Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
Some of the hard yakkers, Hanbury's up to 21 disposals. Devon Smith's had 20, Toby Green's had 16, and Jared McVeigh's had 15.
Hard yakker, nothing's tougher. Join the Legends Club, hardyakker.com.au for exclusive deals.
And talking of hard yakker, Jude, how many for Kurt Tippett?
Tippett has had the 4 disposals, so not much influence at the moment.
They're bringing it out the outer side, the Giants. Whitfield received from Bug, but they've turned it over. Swans pressure swarming. Bird, a hand pass. McGlynn steps inside the 50, 40 out, measures the kick, and he kicks the goal. No, I think he's just missed it. He has. Just shaded the post on the way through. The Giants looked like they were bringing it out easily around the outer side, but another turnover saw Sydney pounce. So it's 10-8-68 to 6-13-49. Triple M, Harvey Norman scoreboard.
Margin 19 points as they work it through Heath Shaw. That's a pretty handy kick, a low ball, a little bullet. Nick Haynes with the footy. Right half back, western side. That's an errant kick as Heath Grundy read it best in the orange boots. He wants to square it now. The engineer McVeigh, he'll cross the logo. He looks up. He wants the fat side of the ground, and why wouldn't you, buddies there? Davis with a good spoil. There's some hanging on to Tippett. He can't mark. Treloar's there. Cunningham, he was caught high. Treloar, he did well in a crisis. They release the footy. Goes to Whitfield, and he'll backtrack. Now Heath Shaw, back pocket. Just holds the footy up. Isaac Heaney stands the mark.
Nothing to kick to now. He's got to go down the line.
He'll just load up and go as far as he can now. Reece Shaw just hammers that over with Kelly. Ball out of play. Eastern side of the ground, half forward for the Swans. They lead by 19 points, and we've travelled 10 minutes third term.
I guess we've seen how close the game was in terms of all the statistics, but this quarter they've just actually hit the scoreboard a lot cleaner and more effective.
Yeah, 3-0 for the Giants. Bird wins the ball from the tap down, gets a hand pass to Cunningham. High kick inside 50. Franklin pushed out of it by Davis. Spills to the back. Davis gets the hand pass out. Giants now looking to build. Haynes receives a hand pass and gets mown down. He scrubbers a kick towards half back. Coming the other way, Richards takes them on. He beats Devon Smith. Handballs to McGlynn in short and just finds the target.
Teddy Richards take a bow.
Tippett. Yeah, brilliant play.
It was just also the bravery to leave Jeremy Cameron, who doubled back. He was heading back for goal, but he just backed himself to win the ball. It was a ground ball coming through. Just super pick-up and gave the hands off now. Tippett has a shot on goal.
Just charged at the footy, didn't he?
Aidan Corr was brave. He tried to come across Tippett's path. Didn't quite get there. Just had enough on it for Tippett. For an opportunity, left half forward, 40 metres out, and that's off the side of the boot. And they've got the Giants hips in this quarter, the Swans. 10-9-69, 6-13-49 in the third term. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard. We've played 12 minutes for McDonald's.
Heath Shaw, he'll bring it back in from the city end. Off two steps, a low flat ball's a beautiful one, and it finds Cornelio. 55 from his defensive goal square. He's hemmed in. Western side of the ground. He wants to square the footy. He goes now, and it has to be spot on. It is. Nick Haynes, look at him dash clear now. The mop of blonde hair delivers to Phillips, and they've worked it well. 3 possessions, and they've got it to the Western wing. Wasn't his best effort, Phillips, but Scully made it look all right. They'll have to go inboard now. They do. Kelly with the footy, looks up, goes with a long, flat punt. Reece Palmer can't mark. Green at the back. He stays low. Parker put the pressure on. McCarthy went without it. Grundy mops up. Lloyd. They're all there for the Swans. They share it now. Rampy with the footy. It was spoiled by Cameron. Can he pounce the big full forward? No. It's pushed towards the boundary line. It's kept in. Palmer. Left shoot. Don't tell me. Oh, that's one of the goals of the year. Reece Palmer. He was hemmed in. He has threaded the needle, and he gets his second for the evening. The Giants hit back, 7-13-55. Margin back to 14 points. Sydney 10-9-69. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
We're just watching the Chemist Warehouse replay. The initial pressure from Jeremy Cameron. The transfer kick came from Dane Rampy. He was smothered. Just a bit of a scramble ball. He was tucked and hemmed in the pocket, able to stand up, turn around and wheel onto his left, and what a finish. He's pretty happy about it, boys.
He was outstanding, beating 2 opponents close to the boundary then, Palmer.
Great goal.
For McDonald's, the crowd trying to fire the Swans up. Triple M rocks football, and the Giants are rocking the Swans at the moment. 4 unanswered goals in this quarter. Margin back to 14 points. Phillips beaten. Chance for Kennedy, just tries to get out of a tackle. Got the hands free and a hand pass to Hanbury, who's drifted out of it to Parker. Also eludes some tackles. A hand pass on the wing to Jeddah. Jeddah into the middle of the ground on the bounce. Taken by Laidlaw, a hand pass spinning by McVeigh. Kicks inside 50. Was Franklin shoved or did he slip?
No, they just tangled legs. They tangled legs.
Dylan Shield just coming from the ground. We'll drop downstairs in just a moment. They'll throw it in forward pocket. Sydney by 14 points, 14 gone. Third term. Tippett in the box seat. Releases Hanbury. Clever. Goes back to Bird. They have to go backwards. Feeds Laidler. He can kick it long. He goes long from 55 and he's missed also. It'll be a minor score for Sydney. They're 10-10-70. GWS is 7-13-55. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard. And thanks to Bob Jane, T-Marts, Liam Flanagan boundary side.
On Shield on the bench now for the Giants. He seems to be in a lot of pain on the bench here. His left calf around the lower calf around the Achilles. So I'll keep you posted once I hear more, boys.
Giants kick towards Palmer. Nearly takes the Specky on the wing. Couldn't quite hang on. He's got a free kick. Oh, that would have been mark of the year at round 3, and it would have taken a special mark to beat it, except maybe by Puopolo it takes the most weeks. That's oxymoronic, isn't it? He goes wide now to Devon Smith.
Nothing to kick to here. He's just got to look inboard.
They're trying to take the game on. He does look inboard to Bug. Gets the hand pass off now to Heath Shaw. Looks to turn Kennedy inside out. Kennedy hangs on to him. Gets the hand pass to Cornelio. Back now to Devon Smith. Stand start. Wobbly ball. Scully the only one up. Takes the mark. Scully will now wheel inside on the left. Kick it low to full forward. Richards is not there. Did Cameron touch that? I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Misses to the right-hand side behind. 7-14-56, the Giants all over the Swans like a cheap suit at the moment. They're 10-10-70 on the Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
McVeigh brings it back in, chooses the eastern side. Cunningham makes good ground. Back into the side this week. With Goods playing in the reserves, but Cunningham, it's a little chipping ball, and he's got Jakey Lloyd. He was pretty busy early. He's at half back. He draws the man on the mark and gives it to the skipper in McVeigh. McVeigh a little left shoe, back to Cunningham. They've worked it to about centre wing, eastern side of the ground. Hanbury wants the handball going past. It's not obliged, so Cunningham just goes up the line, and the little man in the 21 Guernsey marks it on the logo. McGlynn with the footy. He looks up, eastern side of the ground, puts him deep inside attack. Bit of push and shove in the contest. No one can mark. Heath Shaw waits for it. Waits down, delivers on the way out, and that's a clever kick. Whitfield will mark it half-back eastern side.
Been good, Whitfield. Front of the scoreboard on the outer side. Near the Bill O'Reilly stand with that and the Don Bradman stand meet. And he's under pressure, Whitfield. He's forced to go backwards and kick right across the goal face and concede about 40 metres, and in the end plays into the Sydney Swans' hands, puts it out of bounds beside the left behind post at the Paddington or Bradman stand end.
He realised he had to hit a long target across, so he just punched it really low and hard.
Tap down to Bird, hand pass misses the target, 25 metres out from the Giants' defensive goal. Ward puts the body on the line, taken by Treloar, and now Scully free kicked over the Swans. Scully was off to the races. A throw, says the umpire. And Sydney has a chance just to get a badly needed settler here.
Liam Cameron will be filthy with that, just because they've had complete dominance of the Swans in this quarter, just controlling the Swans' ball movement. They've been able to slow their play, and then just the ordinary disposal then allows Craig Bird to have a shot on goal.
30 metres out, they need one, they get one. Craig Bird does the job for the Swans. Just to alleviate the tension a bit around the SCG. 11-10-76, the Giants 4 goals to 1 this quarter. 7-13-55 on the Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard. Let's get down to Bob Jane T-Marts. And Liam, you've got some news for us on the boundary.
Yeah, Dylan Shield looks like he will return to the game for the Giants, which is great news. Looks as though he's actually copped a kick in the front of the shin. The trainers have taped that one up, so it doesn't look like there's any muscle damage, just a nasty knock to the shin there for Dylan Shield.
He's a brute, Dylan Shield, so expect him back on the field pretty soon. Sydney 76, GWS 56. It's thanks to McDonald's Triple M Rocks Football. We're back in the middle. Pike to do battle with his old nemesis Mumford again. Errant bounce, and it's happened a few times this evening. Is it not flat in the middle of the SCG, Jude?
It's dead flat in there. He's got to just throw it up now.
18 gone, third term. Mumford wins this one down. That was clever. Cornelio, Whitfield. They use Bug on the way out. Bug on the left shoe. Just drops it wide. Patfull will mark. Logo eastern side. And he dribbles it forward. Mumford now. He spins quickly, the big mummy. He puts them deep forward. They'll fly. No one can mark. Richards at the back. Just cleans up. Just mops up the rubbish. and pats it through for a minor score. 11-10-76 Sydney, 7-15-57 GWS. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
Richards has been really solid on Jeremy Cameron since those early shots on goal.
McVeigh to Cunningham, and the outlet kick finds Grundy at right half-back. Grundy in short again, and McGlynn back in the team and taking his chance. He marks again just behind the wing. Opposed to Bug. High ball by Benny McGlynn in the orange boots. Kicks towards half forward. Tippett can't take the mark. Heaney couldn't grab it cleanly. Green a hand pass. Whitfield, hand pass outside to Haynes. Now to Bug by foot. Callum Ward receives a hand pass and has the kick slammed down and over the boundary with a great smother by Benny McGlynn. Who else? Sydney 11-10-76. The Giants 7-15-57. The margin's 19 points on the Harvey Norman scoreboard for Triple M.
19 minutes gone, third term. McGlynn in the thick of it again. Ward does well. Burrows in, feeds it back to Haynes. Left half back, he'll just go long up the line. The pack flies, Reed's there, third man up. Ball out of play, and they'll toss it in about 70 metres out from the Giants' goal.
Rampy's just sitting behind the ball for the Swans. It's allowing one extra at the stoppages for GWS, and then they try and shuffle one defensively. So at the moment, Rampy's sitting back.
76 plays 57. They toss it back in. That's an air swing from Big Pikey. McVeigh just at the back of the pack. He reads it best. Turns round and kicks across his body. Tippett the flyer. Can't mark. Cause there. Whistle on play. It'll come back. Free kick, I believe. Just a little bit of hanging on from co-captain in Davis. Tippett with the footy. Looks him bored. He's got the red-headed flyer Rowan. He doesn't like what he sees, so he handballs Cunningham. They're running now, the Swans, through the middle. A low bullet from Laidler's clever. He's got Lloyd. Lloyd at 55 from home. Western side. He just held up. The Giants did well. They pushed back hard in numbers. He looks up now, drops it into space. Errant kick, and it'll be held up. The crowd moans, and Whitfield takes the mark. It's an half-back for the Giants. Those shoulders strapped heavily. He runs clear now. He puts it on the deck. McGlynn will get him. He drags him down. Lloyd comes in, just tries to push it forward. A lot more orange Guernseys there, but it's stolen by Rowan. Rowan to Jeddah. A long flying shot at goal. Lewis Jeddah. Well, it was hard work to get there, but Jeddah gets his first for the evening. Sydney have got 2 for the quarter. GWS have got 4, and it's back to a 25-point ball game. 82 plays 57. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard. Harvey Norman will have all the home appliances, big brands, bigger value.
Really good hands from Gary Rowan here out of the stoppage. Just allows Lewis Jeddah to have a running shot. Only took 2 steps from outside 50 and just lobs it in the goal square. Good to see Lewis Jeddah playing well and breaking the lines and getting on the scoreboard.
Yes, margin 25 points. Jack Lloyd certainly taking his chance in this Sydney team. His father, they call him the fitness fanatic from Horsham. Had those boys right at it at a very, very young age and was never satisfied. Bounce in the middle. You know all about that, Jude. Yeah. Tap down by Pike. Can't clear the congestion, though. Heaney runs in on it now and takes an errant handball from the Giants. Going the wrong way, now the right way. Kicks inside 50, over the head of Franklin. Spills to the back. Treloar, can he track it? Cunningham pressing hard. Keeps it in. Might be run out, though, by Davis as he ran out of room. And either right behind post at the Paddington or Sir Don Bradman stand in. Boundary throw-in, 20 around from the Swans' goal. They'll lead 25 points. They kicked the last couple after there were 4 goals to the Giants. Tap down, trying to clear it. Scully got the kick run down. Still inside defensive 50 for the Giants. Palmer, who's been pretty good. Handball on the outside to Scully. Scully a hand pass to Shield. Shield threads another one over the top. Trying to get free as Smith. And in the end it goes over the boundary. And it'll be thrown back into play.
If you're Leon Cameron, you're really happy with the response after half-time to come out and put 3 or 4 goals on the Swans straight away. It's just those two late goals have really hurt them.
12-10 plays 7-15 as we tick over 23 minutes, third term. Hanbury with the footy, centre wing. He'll put Sydney deep into attack. That was clever by Davis. Just used the body well. Got rid of Tippett. That's not an easy task.
Oh.
Green has turned the footy over.
Padful of kid. Filthy. You're making space running away from Franklin, and the turnover just straight.
The baby-face assassin, he goes short. He doesn't believe he can make the distance. Lloyd now, quick give. Kieran Jack runs to 15-degree angle and just goes whack. He says, that's how you do it, boys. Orange boots and all. Kieran Jack gets his first for the evening. And Sydney push it out to a 31-point margin. 88 plays 57. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
We're just watching the Chemist Warehouse replay. It was just a little dribble kick from Franklin as he entered the 50, but it was the exit snapper as that came across. Patfull's working his way off Franklin, thinking he's got the whole wing to run it in. Only needed to kick it over the top of him, and then he just gets hurt. So, in terms of scores from turnovers, 52 points to the Swans, 37 points to the GWS.
He might have a quiet word to Toby Green, you think? Speaking of having a quiet word to Toby Green, he's boundary side, our man Liam Flanagan, thanks to Bob Jane T. Martz.
Well, I haven't spoken to Toby Green yet, but the Giants have activated their sub, Nathan Wilson, into the game. Andrew Phillips, the man to make way.
Kennedy receives from Parker, left foot kick. Franklin down there working hard with Patfull. It's been an absorbing battle. Two wonderful players at their respective capers. Eventually goes through for a behind. 13-11-89 the Swans. The Giants 7-15-57 on the Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
Here's the man mentioned that's just taken off the green vest. Wilson to bring it back in. He finds Cal Ward, the shaggy-looking rough man. He goes high and wide towards the western side. Sydney keep it in. Lloyd was clever. Scooped the handball. Reed's handball was there at Toby Green. He battles teeth and nail down low. Reed's going to get it again. He's hemmed in on the boundary line. Core will see it out, and they'll throw it in front of the members' stand. 13-11-89 Sydney. GWS 7-15-57. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
But more possession GWS, but they're just getting beaten in the inside 50s this quarter. 4 goals 2 to 3 goals 5 GWS's way.
24 scoring shots to 22 favouring the Swans. Mumford does his own ruck work and own roving a handball to Ward close to the boundary. Just curls a little kick, making 25 valuable metres. Cameron and Richards.
Jeremy Cameron's hard yakkers, please, Jude.
Cameron has had 6 disposals, 4 tackles and 1 goal 3.
Throw in, centre wing, western side. Mumford just lays it down to Shield. They set upon him. That was good work from Jakey Lloyd. A whistle on play, and they'll throw it up. Western wing, 13-11 plays, 7-15, 26 minutes, third term.
They're just not getting the most out of this extra man at the stoppage, with Rampy still sitting back and just covering the goal.
Tibbett taps it down. Hanbury receives a hand pass from McGlynn. Farms a 30-metre hand pass to Reece Shaw, and then he hits Heaney on the chest, on the wing, on the outer side. Plays on quickly. He kicks to full forward the Franklin direction. Patfull, I reckon, was up early and was in his back. That's a free kick.
It's actually
way too early.
Poor by Joel Patfull. It was always going to go over his head. He just needed to probably just have even just a soft body just to hold Franklin underneath the footy. No need to fly for it. Just let it go out of bounds.
Cameron and Richards have had an absorbing tussle as well.
It's been a great battle. I mean, especially those early touches that Jeremy Cameron had. He kicked the long outside 50 goal, but he looked so dangerous early, and Richards has grappled to get back on top.
Degree of difficulty for Buddy, 1. For most other players, 100. Hard on the boundary, Buddy Franklin. 52 out, wheels in, as is his want.
Oh, he
as is his want! Oh! Never in doubt, Lance Buddy Franklin. He's got 4. Oh, that might be the best of them this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks football, and Buddy's doing that at the SCG. 14-11-95. The Giants 7-15-57. What a goal. Triple M Harvey Norman scoreboard.
Had a little exercise a few weeks ago about who do you pick out of, if you had every player in the league to build a team around. It doesn't have to be the best player, but who do you build your team around? Lee Matthews picked Buddy Franklin, and I was happy to go with Lee and pick Buddy Franklin as well. You build your team around someone like that who can do anything on the ground. He can play inside and also up front.
14-11 plays, 7-15, margin 38 points, thanks to McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. Franklin, he's the man causing the damage up front for Sydney. He's got 4. Treloar to escape out of the middle, puts the Giants deep into attack. The ball gets to the back. Jetta's there to sweep up. He's got a little bit of time. McCarthy to put the pressure on him. He draws him to, releases Grundy. Grundy with the right shoe. Exiting half back is Errant. and Haynes will take the mark, centre wing, eastern side of the ground.
They go back though. Haynes to Patfull, nothing on offer up the ground. Then he delivers into the middle to Bug wearing the blue boots. Now he will switch to the western side to the co-skipper Davis. Under some pressure, just turns Lloyd inside out to try to smother it. Finds Green close to the boundary. Franklin on the mark. Toby Green kicks inside 50. A packed forward line. And again, it's fisted over the line by that man Richards. His 89th consecutive game tonight. And he beats Jeremy Cameron comfortably again, 25 around from the Giants' goal at the Rand weekend.
He just takes the dangerous space so well, Ted Richards. He takes that dangerous shoulder, gets it there, backs himself to put an effective spoil on.
95 plays 57. Deep into attack for the Giants. They share it by a hand. Sydney Parker's there, sells some candy, draws a couple towards him, sweeps the handball to Grundy, then Kennedy on the way out, goes with a low ball. It's got a high impact because look at Shaw run. He receives it from Rowan. He just jams it on the right shoe and says, here, chase this. McGlynn under the footy. There's 3 and 4. And here comes the big bud. He busts through the pack. He can't pick it up. Patfull's there. He was dragged off the footy. Free kick, no, says the umpire. They pile in from all angles. Plenty of Swans players as well as GWS players there, but I think that was a high tackle and it'll come back. It's been a free kick to the Giants. Phil Davis will take the free kick at half-back. That's what happens with the press, though. They're pushed up so hard, GWS, to try and get that turnover. The Swans are able to use their hands and get that transfer of play through the middle. Benny McGlynn had the whole 50 running back. It just didn't sit up properly for him.
It's like a party every time he gets near it, Buddy. Franklin kicks to the wing to Tom Scully. At the back, Richards falls to Kennedy. Gets a defensive hand pass out to Rampy. Rampy spots McVeigh on his own. Why is he on his own? On the edge of the centre square. Kicks inside 50. It's Franklin on the chest. Why was he on his own when he's going to deliver the football like that?
The kick inboard to McVeigh just opened up the entire ground. And this is what we spoke about, Brad, before. The quick transfer of play. It's so hard as a defender to try and take the dangerous space. If the ball's transferred so quickly and a big leading forward like Buddy just comes straight at the footy.
Right forward pocket, 25 metres out for goal number 5.
He's pulled that.
That's the easy one. Well, you always were thinking he'd miss that. We're not surprised because he gets the hard ones and does miss the easy ones. Should have kicked it, didn't. 14-12-96 the Swans. The Giants 7-15-57. Close to three-quarter time. Triple M, Harvey Norman scoreboard.
Wilson to bring it back into play, goes with a low dart, and there is the siren. Canelio marks, but the siren beats him. The circuit breaker for three-quarter time. 14-12-96 the Swans. 7-15-57 GWS. We'll be back just after this short break. It's thanks to McDonald's Triple M Rocks Football.
This quarter was brought to you by Harvey Norman Home Appliances. Big brands, bigger value.
For McDonald's Real Choices Wraps, Triple M rocks football.
The Triple M Grill Team.
I don't want to raise 2 children who are going to grow up with their hands out all the time. So I bought him a $1,500 car. Is that bad?
Is there a tighter person than Matthew Johns?
I need $1.
We got the gas bill through last month. It was ridiculous. I had a bit of a family meeting and I said, where possible, let's have a shower away from home.
You're kidding.
Matty Johns, Mayor of Tight Town.
I am the mayor. It's mighty, clean, and it ain't skanky.
Back Monday.
Triple M Breakfast.
Footy season has started, and that means big demands on the washing machine. Dirt, mud, heavy, wet jerseys. It never ends. Get more done in less loads with big capacity machines at Harvey Norman. Select from Fisher & Paykel, LG, Samsung. 10 kilo plus capacity equals less loads, less water, and less of your time. Wash for the whole team in one load. We can even organise installation and removal of your old unit. Visit in-store or online. Harvey Norman. Big brands, bigger value.
Today's AFL Game Changer brought to you by CrownBet. This AFL round is set to be a big one with CrownBet's head-to-head bonus special. Simply place a head-to-head bet on any match this round, and if your team loses by 18 points or less, you'll receive a match bonus bet of up to $50. Just pick any team, and if they lose by a margin of 18 points or less, you can get straight back in the game. Join today at crownbet.com.au. With CrownBet, the game just changed.
Terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly.
In 2015, the Triple M Bendix Breaks Call team rocks football. CrownBet, the game just changed. This footy season, if you're placing a bet, remember, always gamble responsibly. Pedders, for 65 years, Pedders have been the undercar experts. Check, upgrade and transform your vehicle's safety and performance at Pedders. Coates Hire, call 13 15 52, visit coateshire.com.au or drop into a local branch today. In 2015, Triple M rocks football.
If you're a tradie or have a small business and need to hire
A mini excavator?
or a
Portaloo!
you need to know that it'll be
Ready to go?
or that it can be delivered
At 7 a.m.
or
I need it right now.
with
The right safety gear and stuff?
it doesn't matter if it's for
Digging a pit.
or
It's a pretty big job site.
for a few days or
At least a couple of months.
you can count on Coates Hire to make it happen. Coates Hire, 13 15 52. Let's make it happen.
How do you make the best tasting chips even tastier? Simple. You make them $1. Yep, a piping hot regular pack of legendary KFC chips are now only $1. Hurry, last days. Chase the taste. KFC. At participating stores for a limited time.
Every loaf of Coles Smart Buy white toast or sandwich bread is just 85 cents a loaf every day. Great for school lunches, just 85 cents for a loaf of Coles Smart Buy white toast or sandwich bread every day at Coles.
If you're a tradie and need to hire
A plate compactor.
or a
Portable generator.
you need to know that it'll be
Delivered to the site.
and that it'll be
On time.
if you need it for
Just a couple of days should do it.
or even
At least a couple of months.
you'll be backed up by
Round the clock support.
whether it's
a landscaping job.
or
Powering the school down the road.
from
The smallest one you got, thanks.
to
The biggest you got.
you can count on Coates Hire to make it happen. Coates Hire, 13 15 52. Let's make it happen.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
For McDonald's Real Choices Wraps, Triple M rocks football. This quarter is brought to you by Kubota Excavators. Digging a trench or moving a mountain. Give the blokes on site a masterclass in your Kubota excavator. Kubota, masters of engineering.
You bet footy's on the radio in 2015. We're rocking it thanks to McDonald's Triple M style. 14-12-96 the home side. 7-15-57 GWS. That's a margin of 39 points at the final break. The Swans, well, they didn't start that particular quarter in any, well, I suppose positive fashion. It was the Giants that jumped out of the gates. They kicked 3 quick ones. They could only manage 1 more for the quarter, but they couldn't breach the gap. 4 goals each apiece that quarter. Margin 39 points. Dan Lonigan, Jude Bolton beside me. And Jude, let's hit up the hard yakka stats straight away, please.
Yeah, just for that quarter, Lockie Whitfield led all comers with 10, along with Tommy Bug. They both had 10 disposals. Then Toby Green had 9. Dan Hanbury was outstanding. He had 8 disposals. Jared McVeigh had 8, and Heath Grundy had 8. I just felt that, yeah, it was a tale of, just two 10-minute blocks, to be honest. The Giants were all over the Swans. They dictated their ball movement. They got the quick transfer of play that they wanted. We spoke about it at half-time. They just had to hit the scoreboard, and they kicked those first 4. But then it was just a soft free kick in front of goal. Another poor disposal, turnover goal, and the Swans capitalised, got those first 2, and then Buddy turned on another couple after that. So he's been a dominant force up front, Buddy Franklin.
Dan, you just mentioned Buddy Franklin. He seems the one man that stands between the Giants and victory this evening. The other man that's been doing pretty well for Sydney has been Dan Hanbury.
Yeah, Dan Hanbury's been absolutely outstanding, having a great start to the year. Brad, All-Australian 2013, few injuries last year, but look, he's a bit of a barometer, and he's going well, they're going well. They've had a few of their midfielders, probably Jude, not in as good a form as they have been, but yeah, most of the team going pretty well.
Thanks to Bob Jane, team much. Sorry, Jude, Liam Flanagan, boundary side.
Just recapping those subs. Phillips out of the game for the Giants. Wilson into the game. Dean Towers doing absolutely everything he can to get into the game. He's running the boundary line. He's on the bike. He's stretching, but still in the subs vest for the Swans.
Well, don't go anywhere, listeners. Strap it in. 30 minutes. Thanks to McDonald's Triple M rocks footy. Final quarter underway. 39 points the diff. Sydney to escape. Lloyd, he's been clever this evening. McVeigh, they share it by a hand. Sam Reid at half-back. Just sort of chips at that ball. Comes off the side of the boots like a faded golf shot, Jude, and the ball goes out of play. Interchange gates, and they'll toss it back in Western side.
Hit a few of those, Brad, in the time, but Kennedy's only had 15 disposals so far.
They throw it back in. Mummy just pumps it forward. Kennedy tries to scoop it up. That was clever. He wants Pike. Devon Smith will cut it off. Hanbury, he collides with Ward. That was good. Look at McGlynn go in. One way, then the other. Gets the footy. Mumford disposes him. They're just trying to shovel it forward. Ball at half forward for the Giants. That was clever from Reece Palmer. Devon Smith could have been caught high. No, said the umpire. And the tackling's fierce. McVeigh on Devon Smith. That was clever. Releases Palmer now. He went with the left shoe. Hoof. And he got it wide and errant. And he'll be out on the full. Reg Grundy to bring it back in the back pocket.
Grundy delivers now to Lloyd. Jake Lloyd at centre half back. Has a trot. Handballs to Reece Shaw. Has a fumble. So the momentum is stifled momentarily. Then he feeds over the top to Richards. Kicks it low towards the wing looking for Dan Hanbury. Says, Teddy, what were you doing?
He's given the hand up as well. Richards has said apologies.
Yeah.
Apologies. Yep. Not a great kick, just drilled it straight out of bounds, especially that Hanbury had worked hard off his opponent to get free. You always just want the ball out in front for you.
We better get down to Liam Flanagan thanks to Bob Jane T-Mart. Some bad news about Ryan Griffin, Liam.
Ryan Griffin, the former dog, in a world of pain. He copped a big Shane Mumford knee right to the left thigh, and he's going to have a doozy of a corky tomorrow morning.
A doozy of a corky? Did you ever get a doozy of a corky, Jude?
I had one day where I had the strapping as well. It was a doozy, and then Jason Ball punched me in it as well, just to see how it was before a game. It wasn't great.
Then it was sore. Loose ball, won by the Giants, and they've got it at half back, and they try and clear now. Here's Haynes from Trelaw's kick. He's on the western side wing. He kicks towards half forward. McCarthy had it fisted away by Grundy. He worked his way to the front. Then he gets bowled over. Big Reginald. Loose ball. McVeigh holds his opponent down. Brings him to ground in a terrific tackle. Ensuring that he goes nowhere. And that's the sub with the tattoos. Wilson. There'll be a ball up at left half forward.
Could have easily got in his back there, Jared McVeigh, but he was able to keep his feet and lay the tackle. Very good technique.
Sydney by 39. Coming up to meet it is Heaney. It bounces off his knee. Hanbury was pretty quick and slick. He works with McGlynn. Whitfield will cut it off. All this happening on the western wing. Look at Ward, Burrow in, sweeping handball. Now Whitfield. He'll run clear. Right shoe delivers the ball towards Cameron. No one marks. Ball at the back. Grundy should be first back there. Rampy just tells him which way to go. You've got the engineer in McVeigh. Use him now. He goes to Ted Richards, and Teddy just squares the footy. They brought it back into the corridor to Reece Shaw.
Shaw to Jack. Can't take it cleanly. Has time though to collect now. Approached by Bug on the left of Franklin again. Has it knocked away by Patfull. What a struggle it's been. Gets some support now. Franklin picks it up. Works around a couple on the left for goal number 5. A flying shot. He misses on that occasion. But somehow the ball just followed him from nowhere and he almost produced a miracle.
What does he kick, Jude?
Franklin has got 4 goals. 4 now. 14 disposals.
40 points the diff. Sorry, Dan. I'll get back to you in just a moment. As the Giants work it through the western wing. Scully with the footy, and that is a magnificent kick because he delivered it an inch inside the boundary line to a hard-leading Cameron, and Cameron didn't let him down. Orange boots this evening. He looks up. He's in no hurry, Jeremy Cameron. He's about 60 from home. He just lobs it at a half kick, dangerous kick. Laidler's there. They put a good tackle on him. Scully to rip it clear. Rampy comes into letter hand, as does Bird. Bird just hacks it clear. Cameron can't mark. Smith's there to lend a hand. 55 from home. Has to back paddle. He wants Core. Core's now under the pump from Kennedy. Kennedy toes it clear. They've worked it back to the wing, the Swans. Reece Palmer goes to ground, goes backwards to Davis. Davis goes inboard to Heath Shaw, who runs into the umpire but still makes a good fist of it.
And he'll get fined, he's sure, yet the umpire was in his road as he was going for the football. Don't understand that. Callum Ward receives, has a few bounces, not much to kick to. In the end goes wide. He finds the blonde-headed Haynes at right half forward. Bangs it long inside 50. Clean bowls Richards at the back. An opportunity now. It sits for Whitfield, and on the left he should have made more of that. He was all on his own, hanging out the back. He didn't steady enough at the Paddington end. It's a behind. 7-16, 58. The Swans 14-13, 97.
Jeremy Cameron's had 2 efforts. He's just slow to get up. He almost killed himself running into Mumford, and then he tried to affect that spoil then. He's on his knees still.
Richards to clear. He gets it to the wing. Franklin can't mark, and Haynes just mops up. He did well. Scully, he leaves Rampy clear, runs to about 60 from home, kicking towards the city end. Low ball. I think that's a goal. Did it touch anyone?
Oh,
The goal
it's a goal.
umpire says no. Scully's kicked one. He's bounced one home from 65 out. And the Giants move to 8-16-64. Margin back to 33 points. Sydney a 14-13-97. Triple M Kubota Excavators scoreboard. Try and saying that quick, Jude, because nothing buries the competition like a Kubota excavator. Really? That's the triple. That's what's written here.
Unbelievable.
Peter Piper.
You'll have one turn up in your backyard next week, won't you? Fantastic. No, the efforts from Jeremy Cameron, they just flashed them up on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Two enormous efforts spiralling out of control to come back with the flight and then to try and affect the spoil. He almost knocked himself out. But the kick from Tom Scully, great, effective long kick. And if you're always going to err towards the goal square, because it always gives a chance to bounce through, which it did then.
The Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Jude Bolton telling us all about that wonderful goal there by the Giants. They go forward again. They've kicked the first goal in each of the 4 quarters so far, which would concern the horse, no doubt. John Longmire, as Sydney hold it up at centre half back, 48 from their defensive goal at the Bradman stand end.
Chemist Warehouse, the home of real brands, real savings every day. They toss it up. Hanbury tries to escape. He gives it to Jetta on the way out. Now Reece Shaw crosses defensive 50. He sets a task for Franklin. He says, chase this big Lance. Patfull will get there first. The boundary line will beat them both in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. Eastern wing, and they'll toss it back in. 97 plays 64. 7 minutes gone, final term.
I reckon there's a few things that John Long might be a bit disappointed with. I mean, the contested possession there, minus 17, the Swans at the moment. And, you know, they've been beaten a little bit around the stoppages, a little bit structurally, but, you know, their effectiveness going forward has been amazing.
Advantage for the Swans. Free kick from the stoppage. Kennedy had the kick, partially smothered, trying to tap it on his tippet, but the Giants will clear. Core. Defensive hand pass now to Shaw. Shaw delivers to half-back on the outer side. Kelly's been quiet. Takes the mark. Handballs to Bug. Still inside defensive 50. Pumps a little hand pass off to Treloar. Now to Shield. Back to Bug. Sharing with Shield once again. Looking for a way out. He's confronted. Now he gets the hand pass to Kelly. Kelly on the left. Stand start. Kick towards the wing on the outer side. Loose ball. Now Sydney can win possession. Reeder's run down. Back now to the Giants, Wilson. It fell to him. Mumford a hand pass. Now they're through. Taken by Palmer. Open goal, and he's rolled it home from 60 metres. He knows how to kick a goal, Reece Palmer, in this new role. 3 now. And all of a sudden, the margin is 27 points. The Swans 14-13-97. The Giants 9-16-70. Here comes Peter Piper on the Triple M Kubota Excavators scoreboard.
That was unbelievable running goal from Reece Palmer. That was his 17th disposal. He's had 8 contested possessions. He's also laid the 3 tackles as well. He's been really dominant going forward, but just a long, raking left foot. Landed once again in the goal square. And his 3 goals tonight have been all absolute specials.
Sydney by 27 points, thanks to McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. The Giants attacking the goal mouth at the moment. We're back in the middle. Good bounce too. One of the few tonight. Tippett wins this one down. Hanbury to get on it first. He slips over. He backs up. Quick give. Releases Cunningham. Kennedy, Hanbury, they're all there, but they've turned it over. Devon Smith does really well. Uses Kennedy with the 1-2. He goes round the body towards McCarthy. He can't mark. Jetta to mop up across half-back. He wants to get clear. He does. He uses the 1-2 as well, and he finds Jakey Lloyd on the western half-back flank.
Lloyd kicks towards the wing, has got Carey in the kick. Rowan takes the mark, hits the ground running, runs away from Ward, kicks towards Heaney. It's a skimmer. And Isaac, who's been outstanding with 3 goals today, big chance to be the Rising Star nominee for round 3. He's joining McIntosh and also Mitch Honeychurch. Couldn't hang on that occasion, though.
He's been really clean tonight, Isaac Heaney, though. I think gives a lot of hope for the Swan supporters about a big future ahead.
Tippett the tap emerging, no bug for the Giants. Look away hand pass, put his teammate Canelio under pressure, but he kept running. Receives it now from Green on the western side. Hooks around the body. Scully looking to run onto it. Jetta's there. Jetta holds him up. He taps it out, though. Now they can win possession. Hand pass is a good one from Whitfield. Out now in the direction of Canelio for 3 in a row for the Giants again. He snaps from 25. Wonderful work ethic. Stephen Cornelio kept running and running and running, and all of a sudden they're within 21 points. 10-16-76. The Swans are 14-13-97 on the Triple M Kubota Excavator scoreboard.
Great work from Cornelio. He's running forward down the wing as we're watching the Chemist Warehouse replay. He had nothing to kick to, so he tried to screw one to Tom Scully inboard. It was a dangerous kick, but he followed his own kick, got the handball back from Whitfield, and just a quality snap running goal. And that gives them the third goal. They've had 8 inside 50s on the hard yakkers. The Swans 2 inside 50s. They've dominated possession. Once again, you can see how they can flick the switch, the Giants. They've just got to maintain the rage.
Thanks to McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. 21-point ball game. 11 minutes in as Sydney go forward. Franklin in the box seat. He loses Davis. Handballs over to Heaney. Heaney a waltz in. And he got hammered. He has kicked the goal. His fourth. But he was absolutely hammered into the goalpost. They get around him now. So I'll give you a score update. 15-13-103. GWS 10-16-76. So margin 27 points. Triple M Kubota Excavator scoreboard. And the young blonde man from Newcastle is up on his feet. That's good news. The adoring crowd love it.
And so is Tom Bugg too, who looked like he was worse for wear. He was just behind in the goal square, a bit further back then, Jude, but he's okay too, it looks like.
Yes, we're watching Chemist Warehouse replay. The handball over the top from Franklin gives it to the young Heaney, who was getting chased by Tom Bugg. Tom Bugg, desperate lunge, almost knocked himself out on Heaney's shoulder, and Heaney wrapped himself around the post, basically under the back couple of ribs just there. Not good.
Thanks to McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. 27 points the diff. They try to escape the Giants. They're held up for just a second. They've got the numbers here on the near side wing. Tippett Burrows back in. Did really well. Sydney now. They share it. Goes back to Jack to put him on his left shoe. High ball towards half forward. Heaney to fly. He can't mark. He looks in pretty good nick. That's good news for the Swans. Ward will get tackled. Has to release to Treloar. Now Patfield. He doesn't sweat. He doesn't wait. He waits and he gets it back from Treloar now. Low ball, right shoe. He's got Mumford on the wing eastern side.
And Mumford gets on with it quickly, but unfortunately Treloar leaves it behind and he gets held up on that outer wing. He's been held up for a long time. It's got to be holding the ball. He had player opportunity.
Just the handball from Mumford. Just hit the ground and forced him to stop, come back, and Treloar was then cooked because it was an unbelievable tackle from Kieran Jack. He just put that vice-like grip on him.
Man has to know his limitations. Jack on the left, kicks towards half forward. Reed up, can't take the mark. 2-on-1 against him, but he holds his own superbly. Handball to Kennedy. He's had a bit off at this quarter. Does well to shake a tackle, get a hand pass to Cunningham. Defensive one to Bird. Stand start inside 50. Franklin up a little bit too early. Couldn't quite take the mark. It'll be escorted to the boundary by the reliable Patfull for the Giants. In the right back pocket, 30 around from the goal they're defending at the Randwick end.
You mentioned Kennedy. He hadn't had much influence before this quarter. He's had 7 disposals this quarter along with Kieran Jack. They lead all comers on the hard yakkers.
Sydney by 27. They're deep in attack again. Ryan Griffin, he reads the tap well. He uses Lockie Whitfield, built like a one-iron. But he'll clear now, left shoe, and that is magnificent kick. He's got Scully running for him. He's been influential tonight. Tom Scully, left shoe, he wants Cameron. That kick is perfect as well. A searing low left foot ball. Cameron now on the wing. Western side, he looks up, he's got a one-on-one inside forward 50. McCarthy comes out, meets the ball, it'll come back. He was just dragged down. It's called to play on. Sydney, look at the numbers back now. They could share it, they could raffle it now. Laidler does so. He pushes back to Cunningham. And young Harry just drops it on the right shoe, and big Mike Pike marks on defensive 50 eastern side.
Just poor to take the advantage there. They didn't have the numbers back, so it meant this was an instant turnover. They needed to let Cam McCarthy get up and take his free kick.
Kicks towards the wing and getting out in front and taking the mark. Patfull for the Giants. In front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. Margin 27 points. And Patfull forced to go backwards to Haynes. Haynes will kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Good play, Griffin, to try and get it to Kelly, who the pass was intended for, but he can't keep it in, just in front of the scoreboard.
Thanks to Bob Jane, Team Marts, Liam Flanagan, boundary side.
That big round of applause you heard was for Isaac Heaney. He has been subbed out of the game with 4 goals to his name. Dean Towers finally on the park for the Swannies.
All right, I'll toss it back in. Sydney by 27, 15 gone final term. But Sting has just started to disappear from this one now. The ball's held up, centre wing eastern side. Ball not going anywhere, so the ump says, give it to me, boys. And I'll toss it up. A lot of players around the footy. Devon Smith should swoop on this. Harry Cunningham's with him. And he'll escort the ball over the boundary line. And they'll toss it back in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. Good crowd in. Jude, what are your thoughts? 26, 27,000 maybe?
Yeah, about that mark would be pretty handy. It's been a lot of Swans colours here, but it's good to see a little bit of orange around the place.
We'll go with 27 because it's 27 points the diff halfway through this final term. Kieran Jack with the footy. Goes with the outside of the left boot, high and up and under towards centre wing. And Nick Haynes, who's been serviceable this evening, stands underneath it and marks the footy.
One of those very early draft picks from a few years ago, finding his way now on the switch. Here's another one. Whitfield, the number 1 from 2012, kicks to Scully, another one who couldn't take the mark. Rowan wins at ground level. Handball to Bird on the outside. It's Bunny! Bounces off the ample frame, the big fellow, and out of bounds at half forward. The plum pudding all over the face. It'll be thrown back into play.
Get the hands out, big fella.
I think he thought it'd just stick to.
Trampoline in his jumper.
Watching the Chemist Warehouse replay, it just ballooned off the chest.
31,996, so a good number. Round 3, Sydney's first game at the SCG. Disputed ball. Harry Cunningham was slick with his hands. Releases Bird. Releases Buddy at half forward. He puts him in a good tackle. He is dumped to the SCG turf. They burrow back in. It comes to Hanbury on that left shoe. He fires from 45 and he's errant with his kick. And another minor score to the Swans, 15-14, 104. GWS 10-16, 76. Triple M Kubota Excavator scoreboard.
That was Dan Hanbury's 31st disposal, 14 contested. He's had 1 goal, 1.
Here's Shaw. Heath in short, not a good kick. Put Haynes under the pump. It's a hurried boot to ball, still doesn't clear defensive 50. Good tackling on Whitfield from Franklin, but they'll clear defence through Cornelio. Hasn't stopped running all night. And Green wins possession now. Handballs to Shield on the outside on the western side of the ground. He kicks towards Scully. Scully, did he take the mark in front of Rowan? He did. Just inside the boundary in front of the members.
They've really done the job on Dylan Shield. He's only had the 13 disposals, no real influence over the game.
Inside to Treloar, who's also been down, averaging 28 a match before today. It slips to Green of the Giants. He kicks inside 50. Oh, the mark was dropped on that occasion. Should have been taken by Whitfield. Devon Smith is there to tidy up now. Beats a couple of opponents. Steadies from 40. He loves the goal, Devon Smith. But on that occasion, he just misses to the right-hand side. 10-17, 77 to 15-14, 104 the final quarter. McDonald's Triple M rocks football, the Triple M Kubota Excavator scoreboard.
He's been one of the real positives for GWS. Devon Smith, he's had 30 disposals, but he kicked the 2 points.
Reed at half-back, just a little chipping ball. He has Cunningham right at the point of half-back square. He sweeps it wide. He has Rampy with him in support. He's just in no hurry to move it forward, his ramp, so he goes long and low up the line. Towers is there. Also Tommy Bogue, defensive fist, ball out of play, and they'll toss it back in. Just forward of centre wing, eastern side, Sydney lead, 104, GWS 77, and we've travelled 18 minutes in the final term.
Tough night for Dean Towers, sitting on the pine as the sub. Let's hope the sub goes away. There's been a lot of talk about that during the week. Kieran Jack emerges, handballs to Hanbury on the outer side. He kicks to half forward. Cornelio's there. Well tackled by Lloyd. Did very well, but Cornelio won that one-on-one battle, and Lloyd got him just as he was trying to get away close to the boundary.
He's been good, Jakey Lloyd, for a couple of weeks, Jude. He's settling in well.
Oh, he's a really important player. He works up and back. He's been a half forward for a long, long time, but he just works his way into the game, always executes well.
McVeigh now, 60 from home, just drops it into the square. They fly, no one can mark. Disputed ball to Giants to work it out. Wilson there, and he's dropped that clean. Play on, said the umpire. Gives the don't argue. Got out of trouble. Tippett to cut it off. And the big barrel chest of Kurt Tippett just sees the footy over the boundary line. Forward pocket, round weekend for the Swans. 104 plays 77. 20 minutes gone, final turn.
Yeah, Swans are just soaking up a bit of time. They'd love a few repeat stoppages inside 50 and then try and score a little bit here.
20 minutes gone. They toss it back in. Dylan Shield with the footy. He just dropped it cold. They scoop it back. Jack now. He goes backwards to Cunningham. Devon Smith's in the way. Is it a good night? Devon Smith. Trelaw's there also. Dylan Shield, errant handball. Ball out of play. Half forward for the Swans. Eastern side of the ground. And they'll toss it back in. Under 7 minutes to go in this one. Nearly 32,000 in tonight. Sydney 104. GWS 77.
Who wins the Brett Kirk medal, I wonder? Boundary throw-in.
It's guys like Kennedy and no, Kennedy's been down. I mean Franklin and those sort of guys.
Number 4 from the Swans has been all right.
He's been very good.
Hanbury.
Devon Smith's been very good for the Giants. Hand pass comes out, Cunningham to McVeigh. He's in short, but he doesn't find the target on this occasion. And Trelaw has it in the back pocket. Has to go back to full back. They try and start again. Whitfield in short. Palmer, who's been pretty good with 3 goals, still at centre half back, but finding the target with short passing. Shaw to Trelaw again on the western side, and Scully, who's worked very hard. Rowan was left in his wake then. No intensity by Rowan as Scully gets a hand pass from Cornelio, kicks inside 50. McCarthy's there, had it knocked away, but also had the hands chopped. Free kick to McCarthy at left half forward for the Giants.
Yeah, the sting's gone completely out of the game, but it's unacceptable by Rowan not to be able to chase and dig in there. We're just looking at maybe a possible shoulder. What did you see there, Brad?
Tommy Bugg's just come from the field and he was just holding his right shoulder and he's limping heavily. I'm not sure if that's cramp or what that is at the moment.
McCarthy, left half forward. He misses, sprays it to the left-hand side. Geez, they've had some shots tonight, haven't they?
Well, that's been the biggest thing, Dan. They've just been so wasteful in front of the goal. There's a lot to like about their style of footy. I think they're going to win a number of games this year, but you just can't miss easy shots in front of goal.
Sydney to work it wide and it bounces that out in the full, or did Towers touch it? I think he did touch it. Ball out of play, eastern side, and they'll toss it back in. 104 plays 78, thanks to Bob Jane T. Martz. Liam Flanagan.
Thomas Bugg in a world of hurt on the Giants bench, boys. Looks as though the trainers are working on the adductor, in the groin area there on Thomas. I hope he's okay.
26 points, the diff, the dying stages of this one. Round 3 match, Twilight Footy SCG style. Thanks to McDonald's Triple M Rocks Football. They started well, the Giants. They were peppering, and I think they're going to rue their 1-6 start in the first quarter, Jude.
Well, 29 scoring shots to 28, and then you're still down by 26 points. It's just frustrating when you miss easy shots, especially from your key goal kickers like a Jeremy Cameron early on.
Well, they had to go backwards to go forward. It ended in the hands of Lockie Whitfield, but it wasn't his greatest kick tonight, out in the full. Eastern side of the ground. And that man, aforementioned, Dan Hanbury. He's had a pretty good night, Dan Hanbury. He's had a pretty good couple of weeks. He's in pretty good form. And he'll launch the Swans into attack again. Just sets it up. It'll cross 50. Parker can't mark. Front and square was Bird. That was clever. Quick give. Kennedy on the burst. Puts it on the left shoe. Flying shot at goal. It's going to miss everything. And it'll be out on the full. It'll be a free kick to the Giants. 15-14, 104 Sydney. 10-18, 78 the Giants. And we are inside the final 5 minutes.
Haynes plays on quickly. Kicks very close to the boundary. And it doesn't quite find the target. It'll be thrown back into play. Phil Davis was the man. Haynes was looking forward just outside defensive 50 near the Victor Trumper stand. With that and the Bill O'Reilly stand meets some very famous cricketing names in this neck of the woods. Boundary throwing. Tapped down by Tippett. Rode by Bird. He's tackled. Gets it off the edge of the boot. Franklin just shoved his opponent away. Said, get out of here. This is mine. Brute strength by Lance Franklin.
Just ragdolled Patfull. Unbelievable. We're just watching the Chemist Warehouse replay. It was just a quick kick from Craig Bird out of the stoppage. It was hung in the air. Patfull was just on his haunches and it allowed Franklin to grab him by the chest and throw him to the deck. And now he's got a shot from just outside 50.
15-degree angle, 25 metres out. He's kicked 4-4 tonight. It's 4-5 now. He's had a lot of shots. He could have kicked 8 or 9 goals. He's been so impressive. 10-18, 78 to 15-15, 105. 27-point lead. Liam Flanagan, thanks to Bob Jane T-Mars.
Bug looks set to come back on for the Giants. It does look like it was that right hip flexor. He's taken on some energy gels and he's set to come back on. Just an interesting note for the Swans, Isaac Heaney. He's been subbed out of the game and ice pack on both knees. So I don't know whether he's got a existing condition there or not.
Treloar, they work it out with the Giants. They did well. They use it via hand in a chain of about 7 of them, and it ends up with Devon Smith on centre wing. He can't evade the buddy tackle. They've turned it over. They get it back. Pinballing around. Devon Smith, a little chipping ball, and ends in the arms, the breadbasket of Reece Palmer. Is it a pretty good night, Reece Palmer? Kick 3 as they work it forward now. Ward running for them. Laidler to put him under the pump. Was that a push in the back as he kicked it? I'm not quite sure. It's going to come back, and Cal Ward will take the free kick. Hard against the boundary line, eastern side of the ground, about 45 from home.
Just to follow up on Flanners, he has had some tendonitis on those knees, so I think they'd be just precautionary and looking after his body. It's always tough on the young guys stepping into AFL careers when they're up against men and they're playing in a physical style of game. And the Swans obviously take on Fremantle Dockers over in the West next week, so a big clash over there.
Cal Ward with the footy, the co-captain. He'll kick this from the gutter. He launches a goal. It's a pretty good effort.
Oh, that's a great goal.
Well, he celebrates with the shagadelic hairstyle and high fives all round for Cal Ward. Something out of nothing there. 11-18, 84. Margin back to 21. Sydney a 15-15, 105 on the Triple M Kubota Excavators scoreboard. That is a mouthful to say, Jude, but nothing buries the competition like a Kubota excavator.
Well, GWS have got Gold Coast, then West Coast, then Hawthorn, then Carlton in the next few weeks. So, I mean, yeah, conceivably, it's a quality start they've had with the 2 and now obviously a loss now at 2-1. But, there's a lot to like the way they're playing. They just can't miss the shots that they did early on because it just ruins your confidence. And also, you have pushes into the forward line.
They can win 3 of those. Good enough to win 3 of those. Kennedy out of the middle. Beats tackles on the left. Kicks inside 50. But the mark taken by Bug of the Giants. Bangs them towards the wing. Gary, Rowan and Shield. Shield doesn't get a great bounce. Rowan keeping him on as close to the boundary on the western side. Then he shoves Shield in the back but overruns it close to the boundary. Whitfield will rise for the Giants. Got a hand pass to Shield. Threads one to Kelly. Now towards Treloar. Had a fumble. Got it back. Handballs in the direction of Cornelio. He's tried hard all night. Kicks towards Ward. Couldn't take the mark. Drops to the back to Grundy. And a hand pass to Shaw. Lots of experience there. Has to change direction. Griffin's in his face. Shaw now just settles back and thinks, where am I going to kick this? To the western wing, through the fingers of Treloar of the Giants. At the back, it's taken by Kelly. Hand pass no good, intercepted by Kennedy. Now in the direction of Rowan. Kicks along the ground, skids it to Towers, shakes a tackle and then hits up Reid nicely at right half forward.
He's at 55 and he wants to move it quickly because he's got that man, buddy! 45 from home. Western wing, as Dan mentioned, he's kicked 4-5. He doesn't like them from dead in front, but he likes these. He licks his lips, Jude. He's got the sniff of it between the nostrils. He takes the mouth guard out as Dane Rampy just comes from the field. Might be a little bit sore and sorry. But Franklin with the footy. He's already got 4, 28 minutes gone, final term. He'll kick from the paint, and he just does it with ease, and he's got a fistful. If you don't mind... They call him a freak, his talent. Well, he's got 3 Coleman medals and he's a 5-time All-Australian. But he's kicked 5-5 this evening and Sydney are home. 29 minutes gone, final term. 16-15, 111 the Swans. 11-18, 84 GWS. And that's on the Triple M Kubota Excavator scoreboard.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got a bit of swagger and he just struts out. We said we've got a good position to ride that one home, and as soon as it left the boot, it was a prodigious kick of the footy. Went through goalpost high, unbelievable, from the pocket, from the junction of the 50 and the boundary line. And he just gave a little skip and a high five on the way back in and just knows he's probably going to pull in the Brett Kirk medal. That's what
we've seen Gary Ablett dominate games and whatnot, but for spectacular footy, there's none better than that man.
Oh, there's been a lot of criticism initially when he came up to the Harbour City, and but the way he puts pressure on and puts bums on seats here, there are obviously 31,000 here today. He's just an energetic type.
Green and Ward combine. Long kick down to Cameron, who rose off the pack and kicks a terrific goal around the body for the Giants. They keep at it. They've been plucky all night, the GWS Giants. He hasn't had a great one, Jeremy Cameron, but he kicks that important goal. And that's his second, 12-18-90. The Swans 16-15, 111. And we've played 31 minutes in the final quarter as Triple M rocks football on the Kubota Excavators scoreboard for Triple M.
Ted Richards was absolutely filthy with that because he's been all over Jeremy Cameron, and just to get those sneaky little ones late in the game is very frustrating. He hung his head and he was just like filthy with himself that he allowed that to happen, but it was a great crumb from Cameron and a good solid snap on the left.
Inside the final minute here. Round 3 dying stages. Twilight footy from the SCG. Thanks to McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. On a beautiful autumn night, Pike will escape out of the middle. Puts a low scrubbing ball towards half forward. It bounces off a few feet. Jeddah gets it. McGlynn, he's hammering in a tackle. Is the little man. Jeddah backs up. Treloar now. He's been prevalent tonight. Green, they share it via hand. And the skillful Treloar just eases it to Kelly. Kelly half-back flank, western side. Goes with a little left jab. And that is very clever as Wilson marks in front of the interchange gates.
Got some serious pace, Wilson, but also the kick from Josh Kelly is just going to be a jet.
Oh, well, Rowan goes back with the flight in front of Teddy Richards. He's called him back and he marks the footy. So Sydney are going to start the season in red-hot fashion. There's the siren. Sydney win 111-90, 21 points, taking the song.
Lift that noble banner high, shake down the thunder from the sky. What though the odds be great or small, the Swans will go in and win overall, while the loyal sons are marching onward to victory.
Well, they're singing in the stands here at the SCG as I take a quick look. Triple M Kubota Excavators scoreboard. 16-15, 111 Sydney, 12-18-90 the GWS. Final margin to end this one was 21 points to the home side in front of 31,996 this evening. Well, a lot to discuss. We haven't got long, so we'll rip straight into the review for DeWalt's. Guaranteed tough and available at Bunnings as the song continues to ring out. They'll hand out the White Ribbon Cup and the Brett Kirk medal in just a moment, and we'll take those in. But if I could just turn to you for a moment, Jude Bolton, can you please rip through the Triple M Hard Yakka stats? Because Hard Yakka, we know there's nothing tougher. Join the Legends Club at hardyakka.com.au for exclusive deals. Set it up for us, please, Jude.
Well, statistically, it was quite even across the night. It then finished with 54 inside 50s to 51. The tackling, it was only +4 in Sydney's favour. GWS out possessed or had more disposals, +27 in disposals across the night. But it was just the efficiency going forward. The Swans were able to get it inside 50 and hit the scoreboard. And then just from there, like the dominant player on the ground was obviously Lance Franklin. He kicked 5 goals, 5. Heaney was superb. He kicked 4 goals. And the rest was just, in terms of multiple goal kickers, was 2 goals for the Swans. In terms of Hard Yakkers, Dan Hanbury had 34 disposals, 14 of those contested, 1 goal, 1. Lockie Whitfield was outstanding. He had 38 disposals, only 8 contested, but the 1 goal, 2. Devon Smith had 33. Jared McVeigh had 28. Jake Lloyd was brilliant. Karen Jack had 24 and 1 goal. Treloar and Scully. Toby Green had 27 disposals each. So for the Giants, there was a lot to like about getting their hands on their footy, their ability to put pressure on, put some intercepts. Just not hitting the scoreboard just hurt them so early.
All right, winners so far. It was Sydney by 21 points here at the SCG, the Crows by 25, Essendon by 21, Collingwood Friday night smacked the Saints by 74 points for Bailey's Ladders. Number 1 for quality, number 1 for price. With 5 games to go, Jude, Give me the top 8.
Adelaide Crows after playing the 3 games. Then Sydney Swans, Fremantle, who've still got the derby to play. Collingwood sit 4th. Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Essendon and Hawthorn round out the 8. Hawthorn obviously play the Bulldogs down at Aurora Stadium. West Coast Eagles sitting 9th. Richmond, North Melbourne. Melbourne, St Kilda, Gold Coast Suns, Port Adelaide, Carlton, Brisbane, and the Cats.
I thought I just asked for the top 8, but anyway, we got all 18 of them.
Well, big games tomorrow too.
Huge
Gold
games.
Coast Geelong's massive, isn't it? Hawthorn Bulldogs, interesting to see where the Dogs are, and the Hawks want to come back after last
Port
week.
Adelaide 0-2 at the
Massive
moment.
tonight.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, big game for Port Adelaide this evening. Before we get to the Triple M Petters Performance Star Best On Ground Award with 120 stores Australia-wide, Petters can check, upgrade, transform your vehicle's safety and performance. Get into Petters, that is, as quickly as possible. Before you do those votes, Jude, I just want to turn to Dan just quickly. Hanbury set it up, a full 4-quarter effort. We know Buddy was a superstar, kicking 5-5 throughout the evening. I love some of the stuff that GWS were able to produce. They put some pressure on early, and if you, I know we sit here and we maybe make excuses from them from time to time because of their age, Dan, but if they were more accurate early, they kicked 1-6 in that first term, we could be sitting here with a different result.
No doubt, they just missed their chances, particularly Jeremy Cameron, if he kicks 3 or 4 goals. But maybe's there, Brad, but he didn't.
Yep.
Sydney are a cleaner team and they took their chances, but look, they're a team growing. They've picked up Patfull. Griffin didn't do much tonight. Patfull was solid, but they've got some wonderful first-round draft picks, so they're heading in the right direction.
Best
All right.
player on ground goes to, from the Sydney Swans, Dan Hanbury.
There he is, the number 4 in white-hot form. Dan Hanbury, the recipient of the Brett Kirk Medal in 2015. Just his hard yakkers again, please, Jude, because we know nothing's tougher. Join the Legends Club. www.hardyakker.com.au. Exclusive deals. Dan Hanbury's numbers again, please.
He had 12 kicks, 22 handballs at 74% effective disposals, 34 in total. He had 14 contested possessions. He had 8 clearances. And he kicked 1 goal, 1. He was outstanding.
Dan Hanbury, the recipient of the Brett Kirk Medal. We wish him well. Sydney, they were victors by 21 points, nearly 32,000 in the SCG this evening. All right, Jude, I'm getting the wind up from the man in the back. The Petters Performance Star Best On Ground Award. Are you going to give it to Mr. Hanbury as the voters suggested, or are you going to go against them? I don't want to preempt anything, mate. This is your decision. You go with it.
I'm going to go against them.
You're going to go against them?
I'm going to go against
I like
them.
your style. And I know who you're going with.
I'm combative. No. Just want to have a crack at it. No, for one vote, I thought Devon Smith for the GWS Giants. He had 33 disposals, 16 contested possessions.
Yep.
He was outstanding. Hanbury, I gave the 2 votes. He had 34 disposals. And for the best on ground, the Petters Performance Star Best on ground, I gave Lance Franklin. He kicked 5 goals, 5. He had 17 disposals and 5 contested marks and 4 inside 50s.
To go on the back of his 17 disposals, 8 marks, 8 tackles and 3 goals last week. The freakish athlete he is, Lance Franklin. Best on ground according to Jude Bolton, thanks to Petters Performance Star Best on Ground Award. And don't forget, 120 stores Australia-wide, ladies and gentlemen. Petters can check, upgrade, transform your vehicle's safety and performance. We're getting the wind up. The boys just walking their way down to celebrate with the fans. How did you see Isaac Heaney's 3rd game of football, Jude?
That's it. It's still incredible to think it's only his 3rd. He kicked the sealer against Essendon in round 1. It's been a dream ride for this young man into AFL football, and he's obviously playing a vital role inside there now because he's hitting the scoreboard. He's putting enormous pressure on. He's good overhead. He's very clean. He looks like he's been around there for a lot longer than he's been around.
Now, the boys aforementioned, they got the job done tonight. Now, on the other side of the coin, there's some individuals that didn't play all that well. And I know you don't like doing these, but you have to rip it apart here, and you have to give me 3 players that will be training very hard during the week and looking for a better performance in round 4.
Well, I'd be expecting the first guy who's going to get 1 vote, Jeremy Cameron. He kicked 1 goal, 3 in the first quarter. If he kicked, 3 goals, 1, it's a different story. The game's a different...
But maybe just didn't quite get it done. Well done to Teddy Richards.
A really good job, and he actually held him very well after that. 2 votes I gave Phil Davis, who had the match-up with Franklin and allowed him to get ragdolled at different stages. They had to shuffle him off and get Pat full on. And 3 votes I gave
a
man who was in outstanding form last week and got absolutely towed up this week. Dylan Shield, he was held for 14 disposals only after a big game last week.
Oh, well, there you go. Dylan Shield, Jude Bolt whacked him on the way through round 3. You've heard it, the best on ground. That was Buddy Franklin. Sydney, they get the job done round 3. 16-15, 111. GWS 12-18, 90. Margin 21 points in front of 32,000 footy. SCG Twilight Footy. It's thanks to McDonald's Triple M. Rocks Football.
This quarter was brought to you by Kubota Excavators. Digging a trench or moving a mountain. Give the blokes on site a masterclass in your Kubota excavator. Kubota, masters of engineering.
For McDonald's Real Choices Wraps, Triple M rocks football.